No injustice. You found us. Can you let everyone know in the other live? I tried so hard to get that one. It wouldn't show up on my phone, so we couldn't start it. I had to build a new one from scratch. So anyway, Vegan Scanner Lady here. I'm joined by Minx. What's your screen name again?
Militant_Minx on TikTok and Instagram.
Do you want to talk about also massage business real quick?
Sure, I'm an LMT. I'm in Northwest Portland. It's Minx Vegan Massage. I don't have an Instagram, but if you just look that up with .com following it, you can schedule with me. I'm also part of DXE Portland.
Yes, please support DXE Portland. Please support Minx. So yeah, we're here in Portland, Oregon at the PSU Farmers Market. And we're going to ask some people, like we do with anti-aliens, just about their values, using the same signs. I'm going to be showing a sign about the powerful versus the powerless. And Minx's sign is, I didn't hold your sign. I got it. And Minx has the sign that says, "Who would you save?" And it has two individuals on it. We're going to see if we can get some people to talk to us too. If you could please share and like the live. I tried to get this live set up before we went going, but YouTube didn't want to show it on the calendar. So if you could, let's get some attention in here. Appreciate y'all being in here. Like, share, subscribe, tap that heart on the screen. I really appreciate it. It makes a big difference. While we're waiting to have a conversation, we're going to be asking you, those that are not vegan, what's holding you back in the chat. So if you could write into the chat why you're not vegan yet. Hi, Tom. I don't know if I know you. Youngblood, I've seen you around. Good to see you. Please make sure you're tapping. Here, yes. Make sure we have all messages on so we can see all your beautiful messages. Awesome. So I'll talk about like the
That's where I'm bleeding.
Anybody else come in? I have to look down too. Oh, the audio. It's because I had to unplug it to build everything. No, it is now. Okay. I just unplugged it. All right, guys. Thank you. No injustice. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It wasn't. It was not plugged in. Is it better now? Let me know if it is better. So veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of other sentient beings. Awesome. Thank you. We're just asking people, what are their values on fairness? Who should be treated fairly and who should be exploited? Hi, we're having conversations. You want to be live on YouTube? No? Okay. Hi. Anybody want to share their opinion? We're live on YouTube. Hey, you want to be a part of our social experiment? Oh, yes, I would love that. Awesome. Said that they would be back. Hey. Yeah. So are there any non-vegans in the chat? If you're vegan, put a 1 in the chat. If you're not vegan, put a 2 in the chat. And we'll see what kind of a spread we've got going in here. Awesome, Tom. Well, I'm glad to have you here. If everyone could that just came in, make sure you're tapping, you're sharing. Oh, okay. I was like, I couldn't see the numbers. It's like right here on me in the white sky, so I can't see everything. Those that are not vegan, let's see, we got a 3, a 1, a 1. Okay, we see I do have a lovely crop of vegans. Welcome. Hey, Vegan Anthem. Thank you for popping in. 1, 1, 1. Yeah, you can put vegan in your name. Definitely online, that's helpful. Hey. We're doing a social experiment. You want to participate? I thought he was maybe thinking about it. I couldn't tell. Hey, we're live on YouTube. Want to share your opinion? All right. I look British. Oh, because of my teeth. I mean, my family does come from English heritage. Not English specifically, but I should say European. Hi. You want to share your opinion? We're live on YouTube? No? Okay. Yes. The PSU farmers market is popping right now. So if you're not vegan, tell me why you're not vegan. Maybe I can answer a few questions. Why aren't you vegan? Hi. Hey. You decide after you want to come talk to us, we're here. Takes like 5 minutes. Make sure you're tapping, sharing. We really do appreciate it. We're just waiting to have a conversation. Crohn's disease. There's actually other vegans that are live on YouTube that have Crohn's disease. So if you really do want to live vegan, where you live in alignment with your own values, and you're feeling like that's a really high hurdle for you to overcome, or an obstacle to overcome, I would look for a plant-based dietitian, or even a nutritionist, so that you can get what you need and still live in alignment with your own principles. But if you're just looking for an excuse, then yeah, I understand how an obstacle can make something look impossible because you don't want to change anyway. Hi, we're doing a social experiment. You want to participate? All right. Hey, we're asking a few questions. Are you willing to answer? Anybody want to go live on YouTube? So many curious eyes, but everyone's so intimidated. Little dog over there. All these people, there's so many dogs around here. So many people do care about their companions, but hi. But they're contradicting that care by using others. Hey, do you want to be interviewed? We're live on YouTube. All right. Hey, you want to share your opinion? Hey.
Hello.
We're live on YouTube. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll put this down for a second. So I'll have you stand right in that little square right there.
Right here?
Yeah, we'll make sure we're lined up. My name's Anna. What's yours?
I'm Jaden.
Jaden, lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What brings you out here today?
I'm here for a competition, a violin.
What competition?
A violin competition.
A violin
Yeah.
competition? Oh, damn. That's
Yeah.
awesome. How long have you been playing violin?
Like 5 years.
Damn. Wow. Are you excited?
No.
No? I'm sure. I bet you're going to do great. Yeah. So we're just, I'll quickly run through it. Do you think the dynamic between the powerful and the powerless should be that the powerful have the right to oppress the powerless? It's not a trick question.
I think it kind of depends. Like, what do you mean by oppress? Like,
Yeah.
what do you just mean by oppress?
Sure.
What's your...
So by oppression means prolonged cruel treatment. So basically mistreating someone or treating them unfairly. And powerful and powerless, we're meaning someone who has some kind of advantage. It could be strength. It could be maybe they're really intelligent. Do you think someone who has an advantage should have the right to do what they want to those that don't have that same advantage?
Well, I feel like it's kind of... Like, for example, say someone who is more intelligent, they would have potentially more chances in life. I'd say they have more chances in life. For example, to get a higher paying job or like more influential role in society. I would say that does mean that they have more power over someone who has...
Oh yeah, I'm not
some of
talking
a
about
lower
their power.
A power, not
I'm talking about the oppression.
oppression.
Should they have the right to oppress those that don't have power?
Then again, it also...
So like, here's an example. You're clearly taller than me, right?
Yeah.
You could potentially have more physical strength than I do.
Yeah.
Does that physical strength that you have that's powerful compared to me give you the right to do what you want to me?
No.
I agree. What if I'm much smarter than you? Or maybe I play the violin better than you.
Yeah.
Does that mean I get to do what I want to you?
Well, like whatever, just whatever. No, that doesn't.
No,
what
exactly.
does that-
I agree. It's not a trick question. I agree with you. That's the same foundation I have. I don't care what your advantage is. You don't have rights to tell or make me do what I want to do. Obviously, we have rules and there are power dynamics, but I'm more focusing on like, is it fair for the powerful to abuse their power against those that don't have that same power?
Okay.
Yeah. So
I
with
see.
with that in mind, what do you think about when it comes to animals that we use for food, clothing, or entertainment, like the circus or the zoo? Would you agree that we're the powerful and we're mistreating or we're treating unfairly other animals?
I've never thought about this.
that's
Well,
okay.
actually, I have. I'd say we probably. Yeah, I think we are. We are.
I agree.
Given that thought process, I think we are mistreating them, and yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything you think that we need from them that might justify what we do?
Well, for example, you gave an example of a circus when you use animals. That's just circuses are good for our human entertainment, which is using animals for human entertainment is a little questionable. And
Yeah.
but then again, like animals on a farm, maybe like I think you gave that as like for human consumption. I feel like it is justified to eat them, to consume human animal meat.
I just want to make sure I understood. Were you saying that the circus is not good, but using them for food is what's good? Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
I
essentially.
was just making sure I understood.
Yes.
Okay. So, when it comes to the circus, why is that wrong? I agree with you, but I just want to know what your thoughts are.
I feel that it's probably just not necessary for
Yeah,
human
right?
survival.
Their experiences matter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they matter more than the benefit of getting entertained. Yeah, because it's not necessary. We can get entertained by other things. So when it comes to animals that we use for food, what is it that we need from them in that scenario? Is there something like a nutrient or something specific?
Not necessarily, but it's just food, and it's like part of culture today.
Yeah,
and
it is definitely part of culture. It's been normalized, right? Yeah. Is something that is cultural or normalized always moral?
not necessarily, but
Yeah.
then again, it's also the culture, and that decides the morality of things.
If something in a culture is immoral, do you think that we should try to change it?
Well, once again, it's kind of what the culture decides as immoral. So
What do you think? Like, let's say we're living in the times when human slavery was around. Do you think we should just go with the norms if we think that's wrong, or do you think we should challenge that and try to help those that are vulnerable?
I think that if you think it's wrong, then you should challenge it.
Yeah,
But
exactly. I agree. But at minimum, don't support it, right? If you don't agree with it.
that's true.
Yeah. So I guess when it comes to other animals, what in your mind, I'll try to be quick, what in your mind separates us? What makes it okay to do this to them but not other humans?
Probably, I would say, firstly, lack of communication between humans and animals. We can't communicate with animals, and so I guess we see them as less intelligent. And I think it is true that animals don't have quite the same amount of like critical thought and reasoning as humans do.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
they are still intelligent, and I'm not saying that they're lower value. I think I need to.
Yeah. So you agree that animals feel, right? That
Yeah.
that they care about what happens to themselves. So would you be willing to watch a 3-minute on your own time, a 3-minute documentary?
Okay, sure.
So I'll hand you this card. If you scan that, you can also just go to the website. It says see what I fund. Would you be willing to at least go plant-based until you see it, just so you don't make any more victims, until you understand what it is you're demanding? Because this shows you legal practice. It's not even the extreme.
I'll think about it.
Would you be okay? I appreciate it. What was your name?
Jaden.
Jaden. I really appreciate you having this conversation. And if you are able to come back and talk later, I'd love to talk to you.
Thank you.
You have a good day. His friends were pulling him off, so I couldn't really finish the conversation. What's up, Nick? Do you want to say hi?
Yeah, I'll say.
Awesome.
Hey guys, grass-fed human here, grass-fed_human on Instagram and TikTok. Yeah, here talking about oppression and what's fair and
What sign do you want?
I'll take that one. Yeah. But how many vegans do we got in the chat today?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Put a 1 in the chat if you're vegan and a 2 if you're non-vegan.
We're a little
We'll
bit.
go ahead and see how many we got today. Hey guys. Oh, we got some. All right. Looks like we got a lot of non-vegans.
Yes. Oh, that's good. It's pumped up then. If you need more cards, it's just under this flap.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay. You can do that. There's nothing in there.
Yes, we're in downtown Portland. We're at the Portland State Farmers Market.
Yes. Do you want me to take it? Sorry.
Sure,
I just threw you in there.
I don't know.
It's up to you.
I mean, you just had a conversation. I don't know.
I don't mind if you want. I just didn't want you to feel like you were thrown in there.
I'll talk to
It's
the
not
chat.
anti-animal use. This is, because darling.
Yeah.
You don't
So-
have to do anything if you don't want to.
I'll talk to the chat.
Okay. Hey, we're doing a social experiment. You want to participate? We'll get some people. We'll get people. How's everyone doing in here? Make sure you're sharing, tapping. Let's get some peeps in here.
Yes.
Hey, we're doing a social experiment. You guys want to participate? Really good.
Advice for aspiring vegans. I would just say, I mean, in terms of like, if you're talking specifically about like diet, or are you talking about like for activism, or like are you like saying more for becoming vegan, or because in that case I would just say join like maybe communities, like you could find maybe like the vegan subreddit, or just even around your town, maybe find community, because being vegan can definitely be isolating. So becoming vegan, I would just,
Close.
I mean, like, I'm no dietitian by any means, but
Experiment, you want to participate?
I would just, like, honestly, like, if there's certain foods you like, I would say maybe try and look for like alternatives in vegan alternatives. That way you can maybe still feel like you're kind of having some of the same food. And yeah, I mean, I kind of just, when I went vegan, I just went kind of 180 overnight. I just jumped right into it. I didn't have like a gradual change or like some people do. I just kind of went straight into it. So probably not the best at giving that advice, but yeah, I would just say like, find foods that you enjoy. It may take a little bit of time, a little bit of research, but it's worth it, because you're not going to pay for these animals to be exploited and objectified. Did we get just all the color of my Anna bought a few. She got a blue one, I know, and she got a.
Want to do an interview?
Yeah, sure, I'll do it.
I'll just have you stand right here in this square.
On video?
Oh, is that okay? We're live on YouTube.
Yeah, or we can do it off camera.
Sure, yeah, I'll do a video. Just wanted to know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Here, I'll give you a card too so you can find it.
Oh, okay.
We got someone.
That one.
Okay.
All right, so first off, what's your name?
Leo.
Leo.
Yeah, Leo.
Leo. Nice to meet you. I'm Nick. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. Oh,
In the frame.
yeah. Should
I'll have
we?
to actually step up in the box.
All right. So we're kind of just, today live on YouTube, we're kind of just talking about like dynamics between like the powerful and the powerless, and like essentially asking people like, do you think it's like fair when maybe someone is like stronger, maybe smarter? Do you think they have like a right to like oppress someone else that maybe isn't like as strong or like smart?
No.
Good. I mean, I agree. I think anybody who doesn't agree, obviously, something not right in their head. But how do you feel kind of about like the animals, for example, that we like send into slaughterhouses and use for like entertainment or like medical testing or clothing?
I do have thoughts on this. I disagree strongly with most practices with like farms and entertainment and stuff. I'm not vegan, and I do think eating animals is fine, but when done ethically, I do find problems with people who could like eat meat but can't look at like a dead like cow or pig's head.
Yeah.
I know a lot of girls who like would eat like a McDonald's burger, but when I eat like, I don't know, like pig head stew from Mexico, like ew, pig head. It's like you're gonna eat head to tail for one. Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed you said that you kind of like try to do it, or like maybe source your meat or something like humanely kind of. Do you think like it can be done in a humane way? Like, from the perspective of like the animal, let's say, do you think it can be like done humanely?
from the perspective of the animal, they want to survive like any organism does, but there are carnivores in the world and there are herbivores, omnivores. So just because an animal is eaten does not mean like its death is unjustified. It's for a cause, which is our life, and to respect their life is kind of to get back to them.
Yeah. Do you think though, like in 2026, do you think we have like other options that maybe we wouldn't necessarily need to consume like animal flesh, or obviously like wearing their skin we don't need to do, or for like entertainment we don't need to use them, but like in terms of like diet, for example, like do you think we need to consume like flesh or like their secretions like in 2026 to like be healthy?
I think for most people, yes. I know a bunch of vegans who did it for a while and then they kind of got like deficiencies and they go back to eating meat. And for me personally, like once you taste meat, you can't really go back. So unless you're brought up vegan, it'd be really, really hard to give up meat.
Do you think I noticed you kind of you said they kind of can do it, or excuse me, you said that we kind of need certain new like nutrients from meat. What like specific nutrients do you think that we like can't necessarily get from like plants?
I'm not a scientist, so I don't know the specifics of all this stuff, but proteins from different things kind of work differently. For example, like I know crickets are very high in protein. That protein is not usable for humans. So a lot of like companies, they make cheap protein powder, use crickets, but it doesn't really like work because it's like not the right protein.
Yeah.
And certain proteins, like especially in beef or chicken, are really useful for humans.
Do you think we can get like protein from plants though?
You definitely can, but it's not as high quality of a source as meats. So you definitely can get protein from like, beans, tofu, whatever. But I think if you want the highest quality protein and most well-rounded diet, you do need some meat. Obviously, most people consume way too much meat. You don't need it for every single meal or even every single day, but you do need some meat, in my opinion.
If you found out that you could get like just as high quality protein and from plants, get like the nutrients you need, do you think it would be justified to like continue to do this to animals when we can get like the nutrients from another source?
I think that I would need to see a lot of evidence to show that, because science comes out all the time about like, oh, this new protein, this and that. Then they like reverse it or like backtrack on it every like 5 years or something. So I'll need to see like down the line that kind of information. There's like a brand new study from like this year. I'll be kind of skeptical on it.
Well, that card we gave you, there's tons of resources, so you can definitely check that out. But I also want to point out, like, for example, in terms of like health outcomes, I'm not sure the exact. I have trouble remembering. It was a study by Oxford, I think, and they actually looked at like health outcomes for like certain diets, and they found that vegans actually were the healthiest. They had lower rates of like heart disease, certain types of cancers, diabetes.
Well, that's not just because of the meat, because also higher like fiber intake. A problem with people who eat only red meat is they also don't eat a lot of fiber, so they get like colon cancer and stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like,
there's other factors besides just the meat consumption in that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, there's definitely, obviously, like certain diets, or vegan diets or plant-based diets, like definitely excel in fiber. So, I mean, obviously, that's a benefit you're getting. Yeah. But we also know, or there is like research that has found, like, for example, the International Agency for Cancer Research has found that like processed meat specifically is a type or class 1A carcinogen, and red meat is potentially carcinogenic, so they classify as like a 2A. So in that sense, that like we actually have like kind of evidence suggesting that like meat maybe isn't necessarily the healthiest for us, and that we have evidence to support that like maybe if we were to shift away from that and like consume a more predominantly plant-based diet, we'd actually like have better health outcomes.
I would say yes, the average vegan diet is healthier than the average meat eater's diet. That's because the average person in general does not eat well. So when comparing those two things, I would say it is a good comparison to make, but the most optimized diet with meat in it, like chicken breast, fish, like high quality oils and stuff, I would say is probably still gonna be better. Just proven through like thousands of years of human existence. This new study about the carcinogens, I do agree with it to some extent, because people eat too much red meat and too much processed meat. But it's new, like I said. I'm gonna be skeptical until I see down the line more research done on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I definitely encourage you to check out the research, and like I won't claim that like you can't be healthy like consuming animal products. I think that's like there's definitely diets out there that like maybe have like certain animal products and stuff that like people can totally be healthy. I'm not going to say you can't be healthy, but when we do actually look at the research, we have found that a lot of times vegans are typically, or like plant-based diets are among the top and even at the top as number one. So I encourage you to, just obviously do some research into that and see that. But I also kind of want to get back more to like the ethically or like the ethics about it. Like, given that like the research I kind of suggested, and like, let's say you are to go find out that, you can be healthy on a plant-based diet and you can get your nutrients. Do you think like ethically it's, right to like take their life from them when we like can get it from other sources, like diet speak, or like specifically, I guess, diet, but. Do you think like the taste, maybe, excuse me to cut you off, like the taste, and the enjoyment we get from like consuming these products, do you think that justifies what an animal has to go through, especially when we don't need it?
I would say it's more than just the taste. It's also history, culture, art. It's a lot of stuff. I'd say for me, food is like one of my passions, and a big part of food culture is meats, So getting rid of this entire culture and art for the sake of an animal not dying from slaughter, I would say is not really ideal, because these animals, for one, were those cattle, chickens, whatever, they were bred for this. Like, they can't just go back to the wild. That's what they're for now, pretty much.
Do you think that's like necessarily right though? Because like, for example, like there's people who like breed dogs for like dog fighting. Yeah. Like, would you say that's like morally okay? Like specifically breeding them for that purpose?
I would say breeding for the purpose of slaughter and dog fighting is generally wrong, because most slaughtering is not done ethically. It's completely disgusting. But if you, let's say, go hunting for a deer and you kill it and eat that I would say is a little bit better. And then for the regards to the farm stuff, if you treat an animal well its whole life, give it free range, whatnot, and then you just quickly kill it, that to me is fine.
But do you think, like, again, from like the animal's perspective, like knowing that you don't, if like, again, like finding out that like you don't necessarily need to consume these products, like, do you think like from their perspective they would?
The animal's perspective. Right. So I think the animal's perspective is that different animals, different levels of cognition. So let's say like if you're doing like, I don't know, crab versus pig. I would say for a crab, I'm not going to really care too much about it, to be honest. Pigs are more intelligent, and I do feel kind of bad sometimes about eating pigs. But at the same time, they are animals, and there's a food chain. We're at the top of the food chain,
Do you think like cognition though necessarily like is a justification? Because like, for example, we may even find like maybe humans who have a cognitive disability that maybe aren't as cognitively like capable maybe as like I guess you're like average human. So like obviously we wouldn't use that as like a justification to harm said human, right? So like when we kind of put it in that perspective, like do you think that like reasoning is justification enough to harm these animals?
I'd say it's like a piece of the general puzzle, because they actually found recently that a certain species of fish is self-aware. So there's probably more cognition than we're aware of in most animals.
Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. I mean, these animals definitely are a lot more sentient than, or just not sentient, like self-aware, right? Self-aware and more capable than we obviously give them credit for. So in that sense, knowing that like they are sentient, they're having a subjective experience and experiencing life, and obviously they don't necessarily want to die, right? And I know you also mentioned like the food chain and stuff, but like us as humans, right? We're kind of, we've like created like, I guess, societies, and we like shop at grocery stores. We've kind of removed ourselves from that kind of natural like system, wouldn't you say? Like we're obviously we're not out in the wild like for surviving, right? So it's like, do we want to kind of like look at maybe what other wild animals do as like justification for like our behavior? Because like certain animals do, like wild animals do like certain things, obviously, that we would find morally like abhorrent. So I mean, do we want to like model our behavior after that or we want to kind of like try to be better and like cause less harm?
I wouldn't say we should model stuff after animals, because a lot of animals, like you said, do bad stuff. But we are not removed from nature. We are a part of it still.
Well, yeah, I mean, like obviously we're on Earth, and like maybe there's some part of us that still is in nature. I'm just talking more specifically like we're obviously not like in like go back, I don't know, like maybe say 100,000 years ago, we're not like surviving, like in tribes, for example, or like, we're like in a city and we have like access. We're not like hunting for our food typically. We have access to like grocery stores and So like in that sense, when we have kind of options, do you think we should like choose the option that like wouldn't cause suffering to an animal? Like strictly speaking, like if we are in a survival situation, for example, like let's say you and I were on a plane or something and like we got stranded, it like crashed in like in a forest and we were like literally just surviving. In that case, you could like justify, you know, like doing what you need to do to survive, right? But since we're obviously not in that situation, we're here. Like I said, like, do you think that justifies continuing to, you know, put these animals through that system?
I would say in its current state, the better option would be the 2 buttons. One button was stop all meat production, and the other one was to fix meat production. I would say the easier one for society would be to fix it, because stopping at this point, like I said, thousands of years, it's gonna be so hard for most people to do it. If people could go vegan, good for them. I support them in that. But the thing is, at this point, I'd say it's easier for us to, instead of remove ourselves from that practice, to improve on it and make it more ethical. Which is a step, I'll say, towards a better change. Maybe down the line in the future, in the far, far future, we can make totally plant-based meats and stuff. But I'd say right now, it's just it's like impossible.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously, you know, right? Like it's obviously, ideally, you know, maybe we would want the world to go vegan overnight to cause less animal suffering, but that's obviously not going to happen. Like nobody, not everybody's just going to be automatically vegan overnight. So, but like us as individuals, right? Like we have a choice, and like even if our impact maybe seems small, you know, we can make a difference. And the number I can, you can look this up, but I'm not sure the exact number. I think it's like 100 between 300, but like, so one person going vegan can actually save around 100 to like 300 animals per year from being like put into that system. So even though small and like on just an individual scale, we are still making somewhat of a difference. And, you know, like change always happens like with anything, right? You know, it starts small, but like it will gradually get bigger, and like us as individuals can make, you know, an impact and make that change. And so I think like kind of like, I guess, appealing to futility a little bit, like, oh, people won't change, so, you know, it's going to be, I think we should like make the system better rather than get rid of it. I think like it's just important to like look at the animal's perspective and like, you know, for them, you know, does it like ethically, you know, or is it like ethically right for like them? Just because, so I'm kind of rambling on. I tend to do this one like I don't know if I'm like, am I making sense, or am I kind of? Yeah,
I'm gonna quickly finish it off here asking this question for you. So you keep mentioning the animal's perspective and like getting killed by a human or whatever. Do you think this perspective is different from like another animal killing them? Because most of the animals that humans eat aren't like carnivores or top-fishing predators. They are like herders and stuff like that, which are animals that in all food webs are typically towards the bottom. Yeah. So like their role in like the ecosystem is to be eaten.
Yeah. So, or you're asking like specifically like, can you like rephrase it?
Oh yeah, sorry. So the animals that most people eat are eaten by humans, as well as historically other carnivores, like, I don't know, like wolves, bears, whatever. And you keep mentioning the animal's perspective, but these animals, like their whole existence sort of is feeding these top of food chain predators.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say like that's their purpose, like they were specifically put on this earth for that. Like obviously they find themselves in nature, like obviously any life did, but I wouldn't like necessarily classify them as like that's their purpose. Like obviously there are herbivorous animals and like predator and prey and carnivores, omnivores, all that. But I wouldn't necessarily say like that's their purpose. And I think like us as humans, right? Like we aren't these like wild animals, for example. We aren't in the wild, you know, in that survival kind of situation. I mean, maybe obviously there's some humans, you know, around the world, but like us specifically, like here shopping, we're not in that situation where it's like we need to, you know, consume these animals necessarily. You know, we're not like, in that survival situation. So I think like when you put it that way and like kind of viewing it as like, does this animal want to like live, or like has a preference to live, obviously is like sentient, you know, should we cause that harm to them? Because like, for example, like people have like dogs here or cats, and I bet you most people here probably would like be like, you know, we never want to harm dogs or cats, or like would never view it as ethical to, you know, send this dog to like slaughter, I'm assuming. I don't know how you feel about that. Like, would you find that ethical to do it to like a dog or a cat?
A dog or a cat? I mean, I personally wouldn't, but I know in Asia people eat dogs and cats. I'm not one of those guys who can be like, oh, you can't eat dogs and cats. They're friends, because like they're also animals. There's more like pigs, for example. Is my favorite point is that they're more intelligent than most dogs, but we eat them here pretty normally. Or like cows in India, they're sacred over there, and we eat them here. It's all about perspective and culture in terms of what animals you can and can't eat.
Yeah, or I know that you said specifically you wouldn't. So like, what is it about like dogs and cats specifically? Like, do you recognize that like they have like personalities and like, you know, they have preferences and like they have likes and dislikes? Like, you recognize that, I'm assuming. Like, I don't know if you've had any companion animals.
I'm assuming the other animals do too. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So from that perspective, right, when you think about it like that, it's like these animals really, they're, you know, just the same as these other animals that we label as, I guess, pets and then versus food. So in that sense, it's like if we wouldn't harm, and again, I know it happens like obviously in other areas, but us speaking, like we wouldn't want to cause harm to these animals. It's like, why would we want to cause harm to these other animals, you know, if they're all experiencing and having their own, you know, subjective like experience. So like what would be the morally relevant difference between that?
I'd say the difference between them is very marginal, but to me, I wouldn't want to torture a pig before I eat it. I want to kill it humanely before I eat it. And if I were to eat a dog or cat, I want the same thing. It's pretty evil, but I don't want to eat a dog or cat solely based off of cultural preferences. Yeah. It's not like the cognition thing like I mentioned earlier. Yeah.
All right. I don't know if I know you said you didn't have too much. Am I wrong? I don't know if you said you needed to.
Yeah, I just want to kind of start wrapping it up because we've been for like probably 10 minutes now.
Yeah, no, you're good. I want to just encourage you, that card she gave you, to just check that out. I think just, you know, being an informed consumer, even if you do continue to buy these products, I think it's just important knowing what kind of goes into it. So there's a documentary on there. It's called Dominion. And then it also goes to our website. You can check that out. It has a ton of resources too, and like has, I think, some of the studies I was talking about. You know, if you're curious, and you can research that. But yeah, I just encourage you to check it out and just see what these animals go through, and like ask yourself, like, is that really something I want to pay for? And like, do you find out like that you can get your nutrition from other sources? It's like kind of weigh that out. Like, do I want to pay for animals to go through this when I don't like have to do it? But yeah, I appreciate you stopping by. And you said it was Leo. Leo. Well, nice to meet you. I appreciate you stopping by, and yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one. All right. Does anybody want to?
Oh, did you want to jump on there? Awesome. Yeah, I'll take your time for you.
Oh, okay.
How'd it go?
Hi, I'm Minx. I'm here to answer some questions. Am I a soy boy? Yes. Yeah, nobody's having any good questions. This is Vegan Stoner Lady. We're also connected to AAUA, Anti-Animal Use Advocacy. We're out here at least once a week talking about animal rights. Thank you for the piercing comment. Malnourished and mentally ill. Do I look malnourished? You clocked me with the mentally ill, but not because I'm vegan.
So I'm a psychologist, I gotta know.
Yes, okay. I need to talk to you. So, what do you think about the dynamic of powerful? Actually, before we go on, would you be willing to...
We want to see you discuss with the public around you. I think we have somebody, actually. Sure.
All right, so, you want to do this one?
I don't care which one.
Wherever
Just...
you're comfortable.
Okay.
So I'll have you go right next to me, so there's a little square on the door.
Hello. Ah. So I'm going to have you stand in this little square, and I'm going to be down here.
I want to hear what she says.
Okay. So what sign did you read? What are you thinking?
I read
The social experiment?
I did a social experiment.
Okay.
Would you come talk to me?
All right. So what do you think about the powerful oppressing the powerless? Do you think that is fair?
No, of course not. Not at all.
Okay. How do you feel about the animals that we use for food, clothing, entertainment? Do you believe we are the powerful oppressing the powerless?
I do. I struggle with that. I've been a long-term vegetarian, but sometimes have eaten meat and feel incredibly guilty because I have the power to kill the animal. and
Yeah.
it's really sad.
What is stopping you from being fully vegan?
It's a great question. Convenience.
Yeah,
A lot of
that is a
people
big
in my
one.
family are vegan, so absolutely convenience. But I wish I was not eating animal products. I just don't have the willpower right now.
I understand that. Position. How soon would you want people to act? Would you want them to slowly incorporate and like trickle into it immediately?
Of course.
Yeah. So do you think from now on your ethics will be your
wish.
principle? You
It's
wish?
it's a journey,
Okay.
and I wish, and it makes me think, and I appreciate this. But yeah, it's a journey. You have to weigh so many things.
Yeah, I understand. Can I give you this card so you can think about this on your own time?
absolutely.
All right, awesome. And you're a psychologist?
Yes, clinical psychologist.
All right, thank you for the work that you do. Yes. Yep. Did you want to say anything?
I actually do.
Are you okay being on camera?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
fine. So I have a tick-borne allergy called alpha-gal, which makes me allergic to all mammal meat and dairy. And I just think it's so fascinating that this tick-borne allergy is actually something that is making people who would never ever have thought about their relationship to eating meat, they have to think about it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, really fascinating. So I just wanted to add that to
Did you want a card too, or are you just gonna look at hers? Or okay, awesome. Thank you both. Yes.
Is this national, local, state?
Local. Yeah. There's like 10 of us in the group.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way that we view
All right, guys.
group is like, if someone wants to start their own chapter, go for it.
No, it's okay.
I just want people to speak up. So that
Eating other animals. Yeah, it's terrible.
you can find this live as well. Go to that website in the top corner. You'll see
Thank you,
live.
Chip Guy.
Or you can just look up vegan stuff.
Okay. Okay. Are you familiar with Jainism? Yes. Okay. So I grew up in that, and so yeah, just non-violence towards everything is so important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say about
I see you eat chicken breast. Have you thought about a vegan alternative?
Not. No.
What?
So this big
Doing what?
We're doing interviews live on YouTube.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A social experiment?
Yeah.
Okay.
How's that?
So who would you save?
Definitely the dog. Definitely the dog.
Why the dog?
I don't like pigs.
You don't like pigs?
Not really. I mean, like the dogs, like they're like my companion, my best friends. You know, you feel me?
How much time have you spent around a pig versus a dog?
Probably about 2 minutes.
Well, I grew up. No, I grew up in a farm, so
Yeah.
I lived with pigs.
Okay. Do you agree that they're sentient and they have feelings? Did you notice that they have their own personalities? They're cuddly. They make their own beds. It just, they're a lot like us.
Yeah, they are a lot like us.
So what is morally different between a pig and a dog to where you would save the dog and not the pig? Or would you save both if you could?
Pig is like pretty ugly.
It's ugly. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of people that are ugly. Would you kill them because of that?
Well, like humans have like, are we higher than animals?
Why are we higher than animals? I mean, we are animals.
I mean, you don't really make a lot of sense.
I
Just
mean-
just because our economy is based off of humans doesn't mean we have to treat animals poorly.
Well, I don't think a dog can get criminal sentencing. You go to jail.
Huh?
I don't think dogs can go to jail.
Humans will go to jail if they abuse a dog, though.
Well,
If they trap their dog in a hot car, they go to jail. You kill a pig and nothing happens to you.
I feel like if you're a farmer, like it's just like the only hustle you have. It's fine. But if you're just killing pigs for fun, I don't think that's fine.
I
I think it
mean,
is fine actually.
It's fine.
okay. Anyways, we just got two trolls in here. I mean, we saw it coming. He's eating an apple. Maybe he's...
If you wanted to go debrief for a second, you can talk to Nick. Well, I was gonna say Minx can like talk to you for a second, kind of shake off what just happened. Freaking real live trolls are great. Keep you on your toes. Yeah, at least he was eating fruit. Oh my gosh. Oh yes, that's Minx. Yes, dubs in the chat for Minx. This is Minx's first time being on camera doing outreach, so please, dubs in the chat for Minx. Go follow Minx. Hi. How's everyone doing in here? Make sure you're tapping, sharing, liking. Let's get some engagement going. Get some peeps in here. Appreciate y'all. Oh, what's up, you tops? I see you. Jeffrey, whatever you want to do in your own time, that's fine, but you don't need to suggest it in here, you know. Oh, what's up, Chip? Good to see you. Some of them think animal abuse is okay. That's so true. Yeah, most of them are children. You know, I honestly think about how children are moral patients. They don't always understand what's right and wrong. And so I just, you know, try to take it like that. These are moral agents bumping into moral walls, or moral patients bumping into moral walls. I won't address plastics. So veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of other sentient beings. It's good for the environment to not use plastic and straws. Hey, you want to be interviewed?
Well, I want to know what the deal is.
Yeah, well, don't, if you're not okay with being on camera, I just don't want you to cross the threshold.
Okay with being on camera.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
if you're willing to, I'll ask you a few questions right here. If you feel uncomfortable, you can walk away and we'd understand.
Okay, cool.
Cool. So what's your name?
Connor.
Connor, lovely to meet you. I'm Anna.
Anna, nice to meet you.
What brings you out here?
Getting local honey for my allergies.
Interesting. Okay. So honey, tell me about it. Like, what do you look for in honey, or like, what is that like?
Flowers and a location as close to Portland as possible because it helps my allergies a ton.
Have you ever heard of bee-free pollen, like people collecting pollen?
I have.
Yeah. Have you ever like looked for that source before? I was just curious if you ever seen it before.
I have never seen like people collected. Yeah.
Pollen. Interesting. Well, so let me ask you our questions, and I'll actually come back around to that. Cool. Do you think the dynamic? I don't have a sign to point at. Do you think the dynamic between the powerful and the powerless? The powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless, meaning mistreat or use those that don't have the same advantage.
No, of course not.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think about when it comes to the animals that we use for food, clothing, entertainment, like the circus and the zoo? Would you agree that we as humans are the powerful in that position?
And the animals are the powerless?
Yes. Yeah. Have you heard of the word vegan before?
I am. I'm vegan.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess then when it comes to honey, what is it that makes it okay in that sense?
It helps my allergies a ton, and if it's local, I can at least talk to the person that interacted with the bees and, you know that they're not doing like terrible things.
The welfare, yeah.
You know that if you can talk to the farmer, that makes it a little bit better because you can be like,
It's
hey,
like that, yeah.
hey, what are you doing with the bees? You know, it's nice to be able to ask them and sort of get what they have.
What does veganism mean to you?
So for me personally, like obviously no meat, no dairy. Honey is the only animal product exception I make. Mm-hmm. And only because before I lived here, I lived in New York, and it's the only thing that's helped my allergies to here. And hopefully one day they'll go away.
Yeah. Do you know why vegans in general don't consume honey?
Well, because it's the byproduct of bees when they go and collect that pollen and bring it back. Yeah.
So veganism is this ethical stance against the exploitation of others, right? When a bee has to make honey, it takes them their whole life to just make a 1/12 of a spoon, or of a teaspoon, excuse me. So when we think about that, we're demanding someone's labor for us, and when we do have alternatives. That's why I was bringing up the pollen. If you actually were to check out, I believe it's Food Fight, they have pollen that has been collected by people. You can find it also online. But I understand that you're doing it out of, to treat your allergies.
Yeah.
Yeah. If hearing about the bees that they are being exploited, even on the nice farms, would that make you look for maybe an alternative?
If there's one that's, findable, then yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So-
as long findable and affordable.
Yeah.
Are the two things.
Have you ever consulted like a dietitian or maybe a nutritionist about
No.
this? Can I give you a resource?
Sure.
Okay. If you were able to talk to a professional and they were able to help you with that, would you consider not using honey anymore?
Yeah, if there's an alternative that'll help my allergies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the bees, like I said, it takes them their whole life. So when you purchase honey, they're actually breeding more bees into existence. And even the nice farms, they have to replace the queens every once in a while. And we're just asking someone to spend their whole life to make something for us when they make that for themselves, right?
I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why do bees make honey?
I'm getting a really shameful tone from you, and it's kind of weird.
Oh,
I don't think you intended. I just
I think that you
want to
actually
tell you.
Oh, so what I'm trying to say is that I think that we share this moral principle, but you're just missing out on your actions are showing the opposite for the bees, right? So from the bees' perspective, is it fair to take their honey?
This is weird, man. I'm walking away. You're like, there's no need to talk down on people when you do this. I'm also vegan. I'm with you, but you're talking down to me, and that's fucking weird.
Okay. I thought it was going well until that last second, but okay. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't even in demon mode exactly. If you want, I don't mind. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know. I don't know what happened, but.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
I don't know what happened. I was talking on the side, so I kind of missed what was going on with that. But all right, guys. Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. Let's see how many vegans and non-vegans were in here. So put a 1 in the chat if you are vegan, and a 2 if you're non-vegan. And then if you aren't, go ahead and paste your argument or why you're not vegan. We'll talk about it. I mean, while we're waiting for someone. They are guilting others for not. If you're feeling guilt, that's definitely on you. If you're feeling guilt, that's your subconscious telling you that maybe what you're doing is wrong and that you shouldn't do it. So, I mean, nobody can make you feel guilty but yourself. So, eat grass-fed, pasture-raised meats, or you can just eat plants. And not cause an animal to have its throat cut. Why, if you don't need to do that, why is it ethical to do that? Talk about crop deaths. Well, if you're saying that vegans kill more animals because of crop deaths, we destroy more land and grow more crops to feed the 90+ billion land animals that we breed into existence every year. So not only are we clearing land for these farms, we're also clearing land to grow crops to feed them, as well as clearing land to grow crops to feed us. So if we were to stop animal agriculture, we'd cut out 2/3 of that. So who do you think is minimizing the harm they're causing and the deaths that are happening here? Do you think it's vegans, or do you think it's people who are continuing to participate in this system of violence? Why kill plants? Plants aren't sentient. Honestly, I feel like people who genuinely put this, I mean, if you guys actually believe that, come on. Plants don't have a brain or a central nervous system. Literally the organs to produce consciousness, and morally speaking, is it worse to cut a stem of broccoli, or is it worse to cut a pig's throat? Seriously, come on guys, be for real. That's funny. Soybean burgers are destroying the rainforest. Well, animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation and species extinction. So if you're worried, about forests being destroyed, or for the environment speaking, then you should just go vegan. You don't have to eat soy burgers either. If you're against that, then you don't have to eat soy burgers. You can literally eat other things. It's not difficult. There's so many things you can eat. Rice, other types of beans, black beans, legumes, tempeh, seitan. Plant burgers are nasty. Well, it sounds like you've tried nasty ones, but it doesn't sound like you've tried every one. So just maybe keep trying them. And also, let's not act like every burger you have from a restaurant, every regular burger is good. There's bad burger restaurants, there's bad pizza restaurants. Yeah? Did you want to?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and follow me, stand in the square there. And I'll
Stand in this little square.
I'm also fresh out the shower, so pardon my hair.
Me too.
Okay.
I'm a little puffy. So like you said, the powerful should not oppress the powerless. Correct.
Yeah, I did say that.
Okay.
And do you want to give me, or do I say my reason?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's because no one in any position should have the right to oppress others based on differences, especially like the powerful. It's an advantageous thing, and not everyone is born into that, nor everyone has an equal opportunity to be considered powerful, or whatever that description might mean. So definitely, I don't think that gives them an automatic right to oppress others.
Yeah. I love that you said not everyone is born powerful or powerless. What do you think about animals?
I love animals. Yeah, I grew up on a ranch. Yeah.
Cool. How do you feel about the animals that we send to slaughter, use for entertainment, like circuses and zoos, or wear leather and fur, silk? How do you feel about that? Do you believe that we are the powerful oppressing the powerless?
I think that's a really good question. In certain aspects, yes, because we have as people certain amount of consciousness and awareness that we are yet to understand if other animals that are not us have that same cognitive development. In terms of like fabrics or for fashionable wear and things like that, I think ethical is always better. Wear faux, wear anything that stimulates the same feeling or look. For animals being sent to slaughter and things like that, it's definitely it has to have certain outlooks in the way you look at it, I think, in different perspectives. Like one relatable thing that I can kind of, to see if I'm on the same page as you are here, like for hunting, for example, I think if you are hunting like once a year to feed your family and your hunt, you send it to the butcher and it supplies like your family, then that's great. You're doing it in a accessible but also sustainable way that is ethical. You're providing in a certain way. But if you're hunting for sport, or if you're hunting just to slaughter, or for the ambition, not the ambition, but for the
thrill of it,
thrill.
entertainment.
Yes, the entertainment, the thrill, then it sort of becomes I question your morals a little bit, and how people can take life so effortlessly. And yeah, you mentioned circus, right? Like how I feel about circus animals and things like that. I think any form of using life as a source of entertainment and mockery for the benefit of others is demoralizing and in some cases dehumanizing, because not only are there circus for animals, there's circus for people as well. So I think to a certain extent, there's definitely a lot of power dynamics that are abused in cases like that.
Yeah, thank you. So why do you think people eat meat? Like, what is the motive of people eating meat and just animal products in general?
Yeah, I think people eat meat as like a dietary supplement, and it's something that, and historically and ancestrally, I think we have always done. We're both carnivores and herbivores. We're omnivores, right? That's the term. So it's something that our bodies are biologically able to do, and it sustains us very well with the proteins and like the vitamins and minerals that we get from our food, and it replenishes our bodies. So I see it's a health incentive to some people, and it's also just part of our everyday diet to keep us at 100%. And I think it's a choice for other people to make if they decide to abstain from that. Yeah.
So do you think just because we can do something, we should do it? Like, just because we can digest meat, we're omnivores, do you think it is necessary for us to do that all the time?
I think in like meat versus like completely vegan or vegetarian, there's benefits, but there's also cons. You know, if you choose to abstain from those proteins that meat provides and things like that, there could be health complications, but everybody's bodies are different. And you had said something I wanted to say before. Oh, just because we could do something, does that mean we should? I think that's up to choice. I don't think just because I can run someone over, I should, you know, every time I get into a vehicle. I think it's definitely a individual choice, and you have to know your body well enough to see whether or not like your blood vitals or like your regular system can handle like a low iron or certain things like that. So yeah, I mean, I think it's essential as you want it to be. You just have to know your body.
Yeah. So we're omnivores. We can thrive on a plant-based diet. We can digest meat. I don't think it's morally like correct to eat meat. So I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm sorry. You talked a lot. I'm like this, that, this. Sorry, I'm blanking.
Yeah.
So you said, listen to your body, iron, protein. Okay, so protein, like basically nobody in the US has a protein deficiency, but a lot have a fiber deficiency because a lot of people don't eat enough plant-based foods.
Yeah.
And we can get all the proteins we need from plant-based foods. I know vegan bodybuilders, what is it called? Bikini models and stuff are just full plant-based. We know we can thrive on a plant-based diet. So what is keeping you from not eating meat?
Personally, it's something that like I have always been raised on doing. I consider myself a carnivore. It's part of my natural diet, like as my everyday. So what isn't stopping me is that it's just a normalcy for me. I haven't had any reason to not. I do consider a lot of like ethical factors of, you know, that there are some industries that unethically handle production like that. But I've had not really an incentive to not eat meat since it's been a normalcy for me. I have heard of plant-based diets, and as far as America having over or excessive amounts of protein, like I 100% believe that. I think everyone here has a very protein-based diet, and I do agree that people should eat more vegetables or eat more like fibrous foods. It's just you should have a balanced diet. I think. Yeah.
So you mentioned that when you were growing up, it was just normalized. Whereas there other things that you grew up that were normalized that you now disagree with? Like, did your parents maybe spank you when you were bad or wash your mouth out with soap, like, and that was normal? And do you now think like that wasn't right?
Yeah. I think with the generation my parents are in, they had a very baseline form of discipline that is seen as a little bit excessive now.
Yeah.
It's something that I went through as a child, and I, as a future parent, possibly one day, will not be implementing as excessively into my future children's discipline. Yeah.
So we're on the same page that just because it was normalized, we can change when we grow up. Like when I was young, I'd go fishing. I'd boil clams on the sand. Like go to the fair and circus and zoos and watch rodeos and stuff. And I feel like I've really done a 180 from that. Do you think you could do that eventually? Like just eat a plant-based diet, stop exploiting animals or paying other people to exploit animals?
I think for me personally, it's not something that I would enjoy, with my palate of like the food that I consume.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoy the foods that I consume now. I think if you asked me if it were possible, like if I could do it at any moment, I definitely could. I think.
What's stopping you, like, from? Because you just said you could, so what's stopping you?
It's just the fact that I choose not to. I feel like I eat a balanced enough diet as is. I do have a handle on what my body's potential and limits are. So I think I try to keep it eating as much fiber, as much fruits, or as much like protein as my body needs to sustain. Yeah.
Okay. Would you be interested in taking a card and looking at some stuff like how a plant-based diet works, how to live vegan? No pressure or anything, but it has some. Also, Food Not Bombs has free vegan meals on Wednesday and Saturdays. Dailey Dozen nutrition facts. It has a link to Dominion to see what you're supporting. Yeah, would you be willing to take one?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, think about it on your own time. I hope you think about this conversation more and have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks for talking.
Yes, thank you.
Good to hear from you.
Yes.
She went that way.
Of course. I'll tell you.
You want
I
it?
can hop on.
Okay.
Well, because I'll do the next conversation because I know you. Or yeah, I don't know. You can talk because
I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him for a bit. Especially because Minx needs the debrief. I appreciate y'all being here too. This is helpful with 3 people for sure. I was talking to the friend, and even though I talk in this normal tone, people still say that I'm being mean. So I don't know. Yeah, be smart, be vegan. You can be strong and vegan. In fact, I'd find that those that are vegan are strongest. Hey, what's up? Little vegan peg, what's up? Hey, we're doing interviews. You want to be interviewed? All right. Awesome. How's everyone doing in the chat? Stop being so mean. I know, I'm so mean. I'm trying so hard to be nice to these people. It's because we were talking about dairy. And she was trying to tell me that there's a right way to do dairy. Hi, do you want to be interviewed? And she said that she understood what happens in dairy, that she produces milk for babies, that her babies are taken from her. And she was saying that there's a right way to do it. And I said, well, but the cow must be pregnant. You think the farmer waits for the cow to be pregnant? She's like, I hear you. I hear your perspective. And I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is what happens. Do you want to support that? And she just left. So there's no right way to do dairy. If you switch any of the, I was trying to ask her, what does that look like? What does humane farming look like? If you're not vegan in the chat, tell me, what does humane farming look like, right? Of other animals, I mean, not of plants. What does that look like? There's no way to do it because as soon as you swap the other animals for humans, you immediately see the oppression and the exploitation. It's so clear. Take 5 minutes?
Maybe I'll come back.
We would love that. So, yeah, you're literally demanding someone put their body through the extreme work of producing another being. And then on top of that, you're going to extract all the fluid that's meant for that baby. And we've done other things to them so that they overproduce and have to bear that weight. Now they fall down because they can't even support it. It's terrible. But I mean, like I said, she kept thinking there was this right way to do it. Just there is no right way to do the wrong thing. Oh, is there another Anna in here making Annas have a bad name? I don't see their comments. They must be way back there. Appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you make sure you're tapping, sharing. Let's get some people watching here. We're here in beautiful Portland, Oregon at the PSU Farmers Market and hoping to talk to some people about their principles and if they're living in alignment with them. And we've got a lot of curious eyes, so we'll see if we can get some interested people. While we're waiting, why don't you guys tell me, where you're at? If you're in the chat, if you're vegan, put a 1. If you're not vegan, put a 2. And if you're just feeling funky, fresh, and free, put a 3. I don't know. 1 vegan, 2 not vegan, funky, fresh, 3. I guess you could put a 1 and a 3 if you're feeling both.
Are you guys vegan?
We are you?
I am vegan.
Ah, yes!
I work at Food
fight.
No way!
Grocery store.
Yes!
Fuck yeah.
Yes! You want to say anything to the camera? There's like 100 people there. It's up to you.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome. Go ahead, throw it out
So originally I was not vegan, although I worked with animals for 20 years. I've been a dog groomer for 13 years. I actually groom cats too, but that's beyond the point. I have gastroparesis, and I thought my body hated me and forced me to become vegan. I'm actually allergic to any meat product, any dairy product, any egg product. So I get violently ill. So it forced me to become vegan, but it opened this incredible world to me. And I'm getting emotional because I just got accepted into a Scoffier. It's sorry.
No, you're fine.
It's a huge culinary college that are like super famous. Chef Gordon Ramsay talks about them, and I am now in the plant-based culinary program because I'm gonna change everybody's mind by cooking everybody vegan food. Because I want to cook vegan food. Because here's my thing. Okay, guys, I understand we love animals, but the worst thing we can do is call people murderers and call people bad things. You want to know how to get people over? I will show you the most amazing burger you've ever had, and then I'm going to smile at you and tell you it's completely plant-based. It's completely vegan. And if you guys follow me, I do have a little page I just started. It's called Dangerously Vegan. Every recipe you see on there is 100% plant-based, 100% vegan. I just started a page yesterday, so it's a baby page. It's growing, but dangerously vegan.
Beautiful.
So thank you guys. I believe in what you do. I believe in saving the animals. And now that I'm fully vegan, not even by choice, I feel better because I am helping to save my friends in a real kind of way now.
Oh my God, that's so
and I just, I feel so much better that I'm not eating my friends anymore. And I will tell you guys this. I'm a very texture person. I have ADHD, if you couldn't tell. But when I would bite into a burger or some kind of meat product and there'd be a crunch, I'd get an ick. Now I don't get that ick. You know why? Because I know I'm biting into soy or a mushroom or a bean, and I have nothing to worry about. And it's amazing. And you know what? The cardboard days are over. You guys would have no idea how good food actually is. So yeah, go look at my page. The last thing I cooked was actually a French vegan omelet. Thank y'all. And yeah, all of it's vegan. The cheese is vegan. The egg is vegan. There's absolutely no animal products in any of my food. You guys have an awesome day.
Thank you.
That is not me.
Here, I'm gonna give you a card too, so you can find us later. You can watch back the live.
Sure.
Thank you so much for coming
Well,
on
I'll tell you,
here.
I just made my page, so I apologize. I'm like shaking.
Oh no, you're all good.
I'm weird.
Appreciate
This is why
you.
I can't be a content creator because I'm weird in front of the
Nope,
camera.
you're. Well, I mean, that's actually why I started the channel, because I'm a Joe Schmo. I am not good with being on camera. Nope, you did beautiful. You were fantastic. Dangerously vegan.
Hold on, I'll show you that's my page.
Oh, you
I thought
can
it was
do
a
that.
funny name.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh my God.
It's all good.
That's actually so that's my egg, by the way. That is the French vegan. That is the French vegan omelet, and then my cover photo is actually this vegan. That is a vegan loaded taco salad. Again, that is vegan sour cream. That is vegan beef. That is vegan cheese. There's no animal product in any of it. So anyway, sorry. I'm like gonna keep that to the side.
That's amazing.
But I love it, and thank you guys if you do love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Just spread the love. Don't spread hate. Yeah.
What social media platform is this?
So that's Facebook. Sorry, you guys.
Gotcha.
I know I'm old. I'm 43. I'm still trying to get on everything else. Eventually, I would like to have my own cooking channel to where I can show people how I make things.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube would be
Well,
all
I don't
great.
have a kitchen to do it in right now.
I mean,
because
whatever
I'm
you're
very,
working
very
with.
poor and I live in a studio apartment.
Fair.
Yep, that's me.
Awesome.
If you guys saw what that omelet, I don't want to show how messy my apartment is, but that omelet,
Fair enough.
that omelet was created in this kitchen. Okay, you can show them.
Yes. Oh, do you want to show?
That is my studio apartment. That is where I actually created that omelet. So, you know what? This tells you that if you really want to do it, you can do it anywhere, anytime.
Yes,
no
exactly.
excuses,
No excuses. And stop eating our friends, goddammit.
Damn right. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. You have a
Love
good
you
rest
guys.
of your
Me
day.
too.
Oh my gosh, you just put me on cloud nine. Thank you. Oh, that was beautiful. Wow. I love running into vegans in real life. Yes, 4. Which I know. I'm all like pumped up now. I'm ready. I needed that pump up. Did you guys want to jump on?
I can jump in, or
Yeah, if you want to. Down over here.
All right, we just had a vegan pull up. Dangerously Vegan on Facebook is their name, so go ahead and give them a follow. And yeah, they just were explaining that they live in a studio apartment and they don't even make much money. So I mean, if they can do it, you know, if you have the access, there's really no excuse to not do it. I eat chicken, fish, not big on beef. Why do you eat chicken and fish? Why not just, you know, swap the chicken and the fish out for a plant-based alternative? I bet you feel so self-righteous. I mean, I feel good that I'm not participating in paying for animals to be, you know, exploited and unnecessarily murdered or killed. Sorry, I don't know what I can say on here, but I mean, I know people love to say vegans are so self-righteous. It's like we're literally just standing up for, you know, a marginalized group that is so oppressed and so discriminated against that their suffering is seen as a joke and people don't even care. So if that's self-righteous for standing up for them, then okay, call me self-righteous. I don't care. Do you only care if it's bought? So only care if it is bought. So you're cool with hunting. Do you need to hunt? If you're not in a survival situation and you don't need to take that animal's life, then what is the justification to do that? When you can just go to the store and buy, you know, something else. If you have access to a grocery store, then why do you need to go out and hunt and take that animal's life? Excuse me, sorry. Moron. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for, you know, pushing the algorithm. Vegans kill millions of animals. I don't know what's. Look at your pencil thin neck and lack of shoulders. I think it's funny that really the only good arguments you guys have are just, you know, going after someone's appearance. But yeah, it's just funny. But yeah, I am a skinny guy. So, I mean, it's not because I'm vegan. I've always been skinny. So, I mean, being vegan hasn't changed that. I'm sure you believe it has, but it hasn't. I've noticed no difference in my weight from when I was an omnivore versus now. So, and if you want, I mean, you can be literally a vegan bodybuilder if you want. I mean, we got that Chip guy. Go check him out. Instagram. As I don't know if he's on TikTok. On YouTube, I know. Instagram and YouTube at least, but completely plant-based or vegan. Doesn't exploit animals, and he's buff. You know, he's got tons of muscle. Is animal life more valuable to your politics than exploited human labor? I mean, you can still care about exploited human labor while also being vegan. I don't understand why that's a justification. If you care about that, I don't understand why that's a justification to pay for animals to be bred into existence and, you know, exploited and then ultimately killed at a fraction of their lifespan. So, I mean, great, you can, I mean, there's nothing wrong with caring about that or caring about multiple issues, but I don't understand how that's a justification for what we do to animals. So, I mean, go ahead and explain it to me, but. Plants have feelings too. Okay, provide the study and the research that shows that. Please, if you're willing to die on this hill, I'd love to see that research. Yes, we go after the appearance because nobody wants to look like a vegan. Have you seen malnourished? Most of them look. No, not really. Most of the vegans I know look pretty healthy. I just pointed out that Chip guy, Instagram and TikTok. He's buff. Tons of vegan bodybuilders. Patrick Baboumian is one to name him off. Hench Herbivore. He's on Instagram as well as YouTube. So, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a skinny guy. Yes, I admit that, but I'm one vegan out of plenty of others that are got plenty of muscle. So. It's 100% why you're going to stay skinny and scrawny. Yeah, I highly doubt that. If I wanted to go work out, so funny story. I used to work out, but I had a neck injury with my muscle and can't really go to the gym anymore, unfortunately. So, I mean, that's the reason why I don't work out. But let's say tomorrow I was fine and I could go and, lift weights. I would have absolutely no problem gaining muscle and doing what I need to do on a vegan diet. Oh, it's fine. It's just a bunch of trolls, but I mean, we can either or, and I don't mind.
Do you want sound?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. I was like, I'm just trying.
It's just mainly trolls right now, and then they're just.
I'm sorry. Just keep telling them to share, like, where we're at.
Yeah, go ahead for any vegans, obviously, in there. Go ahead and share and like the live. And we're at the Portland PSU Farmers Market in Portland, Oregon. I love your anecdotes, Art Vandelay. Your anecdotes are amazing. I definitely believe someone's online anecdotes versus actual evidence.
I'm gonna put it on the outside. I feel like when it's on the other side, it's like,
What does appearance have to do with not exploiting animals? He can be blue as long as he doesn't do harm. Exactly. I feel like maybe you guys have some insecurity going on, so you feel the need to attack other people's appearances. So maybe go to therapy and I don't know, get that figured out. Talk to someone. It's okay. It's 2026. Therapy's not stigmatized anymore. So. It's good for you, actually. Go and sit down with a therapist and talk to them. But yeah, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat if you are vegan and a 2 in the chat if you aren't. I know we got lots of non-vegans in here, so let's see how many vegans we got. Strong men are vegan. Exactly, Chip. Thank you. Strong men don't oppress and dominate those who are vulnerable and weaker than them. Why do non-vegans say the same shit? No, yeah, exactly. It's always the same arguments. Plants feel pain, tradition, we need protein, animals aren't as smart as us. It's, always the same arguments. I can do it, or did you want to do it? I don't know.
I can do it.
Or I can do it also. I don't mind.
Go ahead and use that corner over there. It's live on YouTube. I'll give you a card so you can find it.
I think that should be.
Yeah, as long as you're lined up.
That looks good.
Yeah, you can step in.
Cool. All right, so we're kind of just. No, you're good. We're out here kind of talking about like dynamics between the powerful and the powerless. Do you think like someone maybe being stronger, for example, like smarter than someone else, do you think that gives them the right to like dominate someone else just because of that fact?
No. Yeah, I think it's relative to personality.
Yeah. But like you would agree, like that isn't just because someone is smarter or stronger, like that doesn't give them the right, obviously. Right. I agree. So I'm gonna kind of flip the script a little bit. Do you think like the animals, for example, that we kind of like send into slaughterhouses or use like in medical testing, like vivisection labs, for entertainment, like in zoos or for clothing, would you kind of say like we're using our power to kind of like dominate them in a sense, like oppress them?
I think yes, but I think that in order to feed as many people are on this earth, that there has been instances like these where animals are in slaughterhouses and having bad upbringings that doesn't allow them to get a fair chance, but also you have to feed people. So creating a stable situation where you can both do it in a humane way and also have good produce and good meats and so forth is the problem. Yeah.
Do you think, like, though, in 2026, like, do you think there's anything we like specifically need from animals that we couldn't get from like other sources?
No, I think you could do it, but realistically speaking, you can't change every single person and what they eat. So creating an alternative, or at least a more clean way of producing meat, is probably the better solution.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that, like, obviously you can't change everybody, right? Well, only one person, so I mean, like, you're not going to change the world. But do you think, like, from an individual perspective, right? Like, just because we can't necessarily change everybody, like, does that mean, like, maybe we shouldn't necessarily try to, like, make more conscious or like ethical choices in terms of, like, not necessarily like humane farming, that's not what I'm talking about, but like causing like an animal to be put through that system versus like not causing them, like on an individual level? Do you think we should make that choice if we?
Yeah, and you should be conscious about it and do your best due diligence to be able to buy meat where you know it comes from. And if you aren't feeling comfortable eating meat, then find a clean alternative as well, because producing meat things and like fake meat and so forth, that also has many byproducts that are bad for the environment and bad for the world. So figuring out a clean solution on both ends is really important.
Yeah, I mean, definitely there's issues with that. I want to point out though, if we were to, just for sustainability, speaking of that, if we were to actually shift to a plant-based diet, we've actually found that we would free up 75% of our agricultural land. So it's the size of North America and South America combined. So in animal agriculture, for example, is like the leading cause of deforestation, species extinction. So if we were to shift towards a plant-based diet, we'd free up all that land, and we'd actually be able to rewild a lot of this deforested land and like make room for a lot of these wild species, because like right now, for example, like land animals, 96% of the global biomass is these farmed animals that we farm, and then only 4% is actually like wild land animals. So I mean, speaking from sustainability, we actually found that like shifting towards a plant-based diet is more sustainable. But kind of getting away from talking about sustainability, like ethically speaking, if we have other options, do you think like that justifies what we do to these animals?
I think, yes, ethically, you want to be a good person and you want to do the right thing, and everyone deserves a chance. If you're a tree, trees they work and grow as teams and pairs and root systems, and they're connected. Same with animals. They have a soul and a piece of that. That being said, money drives the world. So you have to figure out a system that allows for money for it to make sense economically as well. So yes, you can change and you can be ethical and think of, okay, be a good person and do it the right way, but also if you want to change something, you have to change it in an economical sense.
Do you think like on an individual level though, we could like make like a difference? Because like, for example, like one person saying going plant-based or vegan, it actually can save about 100 to 300 animals or somewhere in between a year from like going into that system. Yeah. So in that sense, like if you were to like, say, go to the store and instead of buying the steak, or you got to take that, or
I have to take this. All
right. Well,
I appreciate you having this conversation, because it's really, really cool, and you guys are doing good things.
Yeah, we appreciate you stopping by. Could I give you this resource card? Would you go ahead and check it out?
Yeah.
Or be willing to? This just is our website. You can check this out. It has tons of resources. If you have any questions or you're curious about anything, there's also this documentary. It's called Dominion. It just goes over the standard practice of what happens to animals, in all food, clothing, entertainment, all that. So I just encourage you to check that out.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. It was a good conversation. He had to go, but I think it was going in a kind of positive direction. So. What? Oh, okay. Good. We have a good conversation going off on the side, it looks like, so that's good. Love some veal. Do you know the process of what happens to veal, or how veal is made? I'm curious if you know. And if you do, why choose that over, a plant-based alternative? You can choose Oh, sorry, my throat's scratchy today. Sure, if you want.
Get a drink of water.
I should have brought my water. My throat's like.
Sorry, all I have is kombucha. I'd share, but it's kind of pungent.
I want to see how many people do we have in the lab?
88. 88. Plant-based alternative to veal. Do you have any plant-based alternatives that you know of? There's plenty at the store. Beyond makes a bunch of imitation beef products. They have burgers, they have sausages, they have little chunks of stuff. They have fillets of everything. So
Yeah, I don't know a specific, like, I'm sure it's out there. You just have to do, look and find it. But I don't know a specific one. But if you can't find one, or let's say you just couldn't, does that still, justify what happens to the, baby cow in order for you to have veal when you maybe can't find the exact same taste or texture? Does that justify what happens to them just so you can have that 15 minutes of, pleasure, taste pleasure? But yeah, I'm sure it's out there. You just have to look.
animals get B12 from the earth. They get supplemented with it if that's what you're going for. So yeah, they get injected with supplements, so it is not necessary to eat them for B12 or for any reason, but just cut out the middleman and take a B12 supplement yourself. You gonna tell a tiger to not eat meat? No, tigers are living in the wild. They hunt zebras with their claws. They have carnivore teeth. They go up and down. They have giant canines. Like, that is their survival instincts to do. We go to the store and buy meat off the counter. I don't see a tiger doing that.
Yeah.
There's a little ant on here. Oh my god, I don't want to hurt you. Get off.
Maybe.
I don't know. Come on, baby. There's an ant on my mic. I'm trying to slowly get him off there. Come on. Sorry. I cannot do this right now. I don't know what to do. They're gonna make fun of me.
Someone said humans have been eating meat for a long time. Do you think just because we've been doing something for a long time is justification to continue doing said thing? Because I mean, we've been killing each other for a long time. We've been raping each other for a long time. We've been doing, a lot of immoral things for a long time. But, does that justify continuing to do it just because, we've been doing it for a long time?
Let me know if they say anything worth it.
But at least it's not. So yeah, I'm gonna.
Why is hunting important to the land?
No idea. Why do we need to hunt? Oh my goodness. He is safe. Oh my goodness. If you don't hunt, there will be overpopulation. That is not true.
Strictly speaking, though, from like an ethical perspective, humans are overpopulated, right? Would that mean, because if you think about it, we're the most invasive species, right? We destroy land, we're the cause of deforestation, species extinction. Do you think it would be ethical for us to go and then murder humans because, we're overpopulating or we're an invasive species? So if it's not okay, if you obviously you're gonna say no, maybe you're not, that would be crazy, but assuming you're going to say no, what is the morally relevant difference? That's okay for us to take their life, but to a human life it's not okay.
We can grow enough plants to feed the world. What do your animals eat? 70% of our crops go to livestock, the animals. So we can definitely feed the entire world with just a plant-based diet, because so much of it is so much water and resources are already going to the livestock. Just cut out the middleman, eat the plants yourself. I don't believe in God. And what is God more like? The Garden of Eden was vegan, and that was God's perfect creation. So why doesn't it not apply here if you care about God so much? I do have a job. I'm a massage therapist. That's why I don't have to work 40 hours a week.
Yeah, they might know again for it.
In the Garden of Eden, there was no killing. So yes, it was vegan. Fuck your plant-based diet. I'm a vegan, so that's your problem. You don't have faith. No, I just don't believe in a sky daddy.
That's what he did last time. Like, oh, he was there before. Yeah, I know.
I believe in myself.
Do you want me to jump in since you've been on there?
They're just annoying.
Okay.
It's okay though. Yeah. They're making fun of me because I don't believe in God.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can take it.
You can pivot to like when you're in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, we're here in Portland, Oregon at the Portland State University Farmers Market doing a social experiment talking about animal rights. It's actually going really well if you stay live. We've been having a lot of good conversations on camera and off camera. Anna just had a really good one with a man.
You guys got a few minutes to chat? Sure.
Are you okay to be live on YouTube?
I don't want to be live.
Okay. Alright. We're not on camera. It's that way. Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there.
But not facing towards me. So we're just talking about the dynamic.
I'm actually not lesbian at all. I really like the So Delicious caramel nut cluster ice cream. It has a really good texture and it doesn't get, it's really creamy. It's nice and totally plant-based. So Delicious has been around since I was in high school when I was first plant-based. So yeah, they've definitely perfected their recipe. No, a lot of people are very susceptible to what we've been saying. We've been having a lot of good conversations, getting through to people. It's been a good day so far. Strong men are vegan, true. Why do you have the uniform? This uniform? What are you talking about? Junk food expert. Yeah, vegan junk food expert. Definitely a foodie.
Right, but should the powerful be allowed to?
If being vegan was about having a moral high ground on people, we would not be inviting people to be vegan and trying to get them to be vegan and live cruelty-free. So it's nothing about we have more power over anybody. We are using our voices for the better. Also, if you're in Portland, go to Kate's Ice Cream or Donuts and Ice Cream. And then we're at PSU right now, and I believe B3 Cookies is here if you guys are so obsessed with vegan junk food. It's just a bunch of trolls. I don't know what to talk about. They're just like, what's your favorite thing of ice? What's your favorite ice cream? And I'm like, Kate's? Go to Kate's? All of them there? People naturally are not vegan. We are actually omnivores, and we can thrive on a plant-based diet. But honestly, I believe we are all born vegan because we, as a baby and young child, we do not see animals as food. If you take a baby, put him in a crate, not a crate, but like put him in their bed and put an apple and a bunny in front of them, they will eat the apple and they will not kill and eat the bunny. It's just not in our nature to do that. But then we are brainwashed when we get older to do this stuff.
I want to read one comment said, if veganism is about reducing harm, why do you treat a single drop of dairy like a moral sin while ignoring the massive human exploitations in the global supply chain? And well, first off, I want to say veganism isn't about reducing harm. It's an ethical stance against the exploitation of, I mean, non-human animals, but we can also just say sentient beings, right? So, I mean, if I don't need to demand someone else's exploitation and oppression, then why would I? And I know I keep seeing this comment, like you bring it up. It's like you can be against, as a vegan, against human exploitation, for example. I mean, just look at slaughterhouses. Slaughterhouse workers have, high rates of PTSD, and there's documented cases of them being mistreated. Certainly a lot of, immigrants work in these slaughterhouses, right? Because they're put in areas that are lower income. So, a lot of these people find themselves in these jobs that is just only available to them, and they're extremely exploited and threatened, things like even like deportation for speaking out against the conditions and what they see in these slaughterhouses. So, I mean, if you're really against human exploitation, you should be vegan, because the most exploitation happens in the animal agriculture industry, not just the animals, but to humans as well. So if you're really worried about that, then yeah, go vegan.
What's their name? I forgot their name. Bitch, come over here. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I met them at Flipside, so I was trying to get their attention. Somebody said rabbits eat their babies. I don't know what that point was. That's their instinct. Like, if we eat our babies, we go to jail. So, I don't know what your point with that is.
Someone said, these people think they're smarter and better than the average person, but force this idea in others by causing guilt. It's manipulation tactics and bullying. First off, we're not forcing anybody to do anything. They're coming up to us and we're talking about it to them. We're not going door to doorstep and, tying people up and forcing them to drink soy milk. We're literally just talking to people. And second, if you are feeling guilt, which it sounds like you are, that's on you. Your guilt is maybe something in your subconscious telling you, maybe I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing, Because if you're feeling guilty about consuming, when we're talking about consuming these products and you're feeling guilty about that because you still continue to do that, that's all on you. So, I mean, that's someone speaking to you, telling you that maybe I shouldn't continue to do this. So, but again, vegans aren't forcing you to do anything. You can go to the store and buy whatever you want, or we can't force you not to do that, but we can talk to people about it and hopefully get them to understand why they shouldn't do that. But again, we can't force you to do anything. So, I mean, come on.
Someone said you can't be fat and vegan. Vegan food is delicious. You should try it. What do you mean about the bees that we kill every day? I don't know what you mean by that. We don't eat honey.
If you're talking about specifically in almond milk, I personally I don't buy almond milk because I don't want to contribute to, because I know to pollinate almonds, for example, they use the animal agriculture industry will borrow from the honey industry. Like, these bees are driven all around the country and use I'm not explaining this the best, but anyways, there's bee exploitation in almond milk production here in the U.S. specifically. So I personally don't buy almond milk for that specific reason, because I don't want these bees to be exploited. But the reason why they're even in this situation is because of animal agriculture, right, and these industries. So, or specifically because of the honey industry. So, by avoiding honey and not viewing bees as commodities, then you're working to fight that mindset and that system. That is the reason this is even happening in the first place. So. Honey is good. Does something being good justify what has to happen to the bees, for example? For example, like, in their hives, like the queen bee has her wings clipped, and a male bee, I forgot what it's called exactly, but how they extract the semen, for example, from this bee is they crush it. So, I mean, they're crushing this innocent bee that's literally done nothing to anybody, because they want to, use and commodify them. And it's like, yeah, essentially, like, does something tasting good justify what happens to the bees in this industry? Sorry, I'm not. I know what happens to the bees. I'm having a brain fog moment. Probably couldn't explain it the best right now, but essentially they're exploited, and you don't need to consume honey. Try maple syrup or agave. Sorry, I'm just like...
You're fine. You can also boil down some apple juice and add some sugar, and you can make a honey-like topping for whatever you'd like. You can also make it from dandelions. I have not tried that, though.
If a lion was put in a crate with a bunny and an apple, yeah, I'm sure the lion maybe would, I don't know, consume both. Obviously the baby, but like, should we model our behavior off of what lions do? Lions also eat, their young, their babies. So does that mean if I were to have a baby, as soon as they're born or whenever they're young, should I eat them? Lions do it, right? So I mean, that must mean it's okay to do, right? Could you go to court, for example, and use that as a justification? Like, let's say you ate your baby and then you're in court for that, and could you tell the judge, oh well, lions do it, so why can't I?
Vegan children have a hard time developing during puberty. Why do you think that? Where's the evidence? Where's the testing? Only 1% of people are vegan in the U.S. Like, how many studies are on this? Like, you can't just pull things out of your ass. I have seen squirrels eat birds. Yeah, they're non-human animals. They're gonna do what they do. That is the circle of life. What we are doing is not the circle of life. We are mass breeding animals, non-human animals, for our wants and our pleasure. It's totally different than a squirrel eating whatever the fuck you said. This is a microphone. Plants are not sentient. I don't know why you guys keep bringing up this.
Listen, someone keeps talking about what lions or wild animals do. Oh shit. Oh my god.
We're not in the wild.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need, like, okay. I don't think you can hunt down a zebra with just your bare hands. You are not a carnivore. It is not in your nature to do that. You go to the grocery store and pick something off the shelf. You are not an apex predator. You don't hunt with your hands. You are so much different than a lion. No, we do not use leather, or silk, or fur, suede.
Humans are the apex predator. Okay, well, honestly, go in the forest then. Or, I don't know, go to anywhere where there's a wild animal like a carnivore, with nothing, no weapons, nothing, and see if you are able to take that animal down with just your bare hands. See who comes out on top, and then ask yourself, are we truly the apex predator?
I don't use petroleum. I use vegan chapsticks. Wild refills. Do you know any vegan chapsticks? I just get that because it's...
My girlfriend really likes Rode. It's Justin Bieber's wife. What's her face? Hailey Bieber.
Hailey Bieber.
She makes. I don't think she's vegan, unfortunately, but she does have a line that's vegan and cruelty free called Rode. They make pretty good chapstick. I use it.
Someone's commenting their favorite chapstick.
Let's say we. I don't think you guys are actually hearing me.
Okay, somebody said something about making us Apex.
Everyone will kick dogs for fun. 8 billion people stop eating cows forever.
You're a liar. You don't have a girlfriend. Okay. My girlfriend would beg to differ, but okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because we've literally bred them to be handicapped. We took a cow that was flying in the wild. We raped her.
When did we take the cow out of it?
10,000 years ago.
10,000 years. So how do we reverse that?
Though for if you're, it looks like we got a lot of non-vegans in here, so I'm gonna say if you are non-vegan, go ahead and put a 1. But if you are a vegan, go ahead and put a 2. So I want to see how many vegans we have in the chat actually.
You want to go help Anna, or like at least watch what's going on? It looks pretty heated.
Where's your evidence for that?
Evidence is that we breed them into existence and we stop. They won't be out. Your evidence is not that. Afraid that a woman not having a child won't have a child.
Why do you need to pull your chat? We're just trying to see the crowd, see what's going on in here. We got some vegans. That's cool. Yeah, I did get my COVID shot. All 3 of them, or 4, whatever. Whatever the doctors told me to get.
When you buy animal products, that's what you're going to have to pay. Is this an appeal to futility? Because we can't solve all the No, you're putting words in my mouth. You keep building stronger.
Someone said eggs are in vaccines. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Ask the same question 3 or 4 times now. If we stop harming animals, we can save 75% of our agriculture.
I can grow my own vegetables and fruits. I don't know. I would never hunt an animal.
Because we're not going to be forcing them to
I'm going to tell the guy.
Goodbye.
There's going to be a reduction in this in the land that's used to feed that expansion will be changed. Will be changed.
Any worries? We are in Portland, Oregon at Portland State University Farmers Market. We are having discussions with people about animal rights and what we do to animals, how we exploit them for food, entertainment, clothing, all that. There's a heated debate right now. I don't like it. How am I not vegan if I use plastics?
Have you heard of sanctuaries? Do you know what sanctuaries are?
Let me just answer the question. You keep asking questions. What will happen to them? That's it. What might you might just ask the simple question. What happens to these animals? No. What happens to them? Forget the simple. How? Well, how?
You guys are asking no good questions. We're in Portland, Oregon, like I just said.
Then they die off. Right? Like and that's it. What happens to the land?
We haven't kicked anybody off the stream today. We have somebody Anna's partner at home, modding everything to make sure there's nothing crazy going on. You guys have a right to speak your opinions. I'm just saying most of them are wrong. Please never leave Portland. Portland has so many vegan restaurants, is very vegan friendly. My tattoo artist and my piercer are vegan. Yeah. It's beautiful here. It's a beautiful day.
Of course, but then you're gonna have to scale up the production of nut milk because the demand will be much higher.
I'm not wearing a lamb sweater. This is a vegan sweater. I got it from a Portland band called Fortune, vegan straight edge band. Portland is the most liberal city in the country. Yeah, and I like it that way. Yes, I'm leftist, mostly anarchist, but if I had to choose, I'm on the left. If you're worried about anemia with veganism, you can get an iron leaf. They're traditionally in the shape of a fish, but you can get, there's a few different shapes. I have a few. And you just put it in some water, put in some drops of citrus and boil it for 10 minutes, and you have some pure iron water, and I usually add some tea to it. That's a good way to get iron if you're so worried about it. Polyester is not an animal product.
How do I know? Do cows have free will? How do you know? You learn
There are more than a dozen plant foods that contain more iron than a cow meat. Yeah, broccoli and spinach are some of them. I know a lot of vegan granola bars and protein bars just have a lot of iron in them. Same with some protein shakes, protein powder. Anyways, we're in Portland, Oregon at the PSU Farmers Market. We're asking people about animals and about what we do with animals, how we exploit them for food, their bodies, clothing, how we use them for entertainment, like the circus and zoo, all that.
Over me. I realized that I started to jump on it. I know, like we could end it here.
Polyester is not made from dead animals.
How are you feeling?
I'm alright. There's a lot of dumbasses in here. Sorry, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you can say, do you want to trade out?
Dumbass? Sure.
Awesome. Here. Actually, that's your son. Sorry.
Who said the last? Was it me who did the last conversation on camera?
I don't know.
I think I talked to that because
Okay.
that
and then you came over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was the last one.
Do you
So
want
I
to
don't-
be on camera? Is that
Well,
what
no,
you're saying?
I was just asking, just because when someone else maybe comes along, I didn't know.
Oh yeah, I would love to do another conversation. I think it's been a minute. If someone would love to talk to me, I would love to talk to them. How's everyone doing in the chat? This one's easily triggered. Me? I'm more like, if you say it's okay to grape others, that's wrong. It is a nice day out. It's gorgeous. The sun is coming out, breaking through the clouds. It was like overcast for most of the morning. Excuse me. So we're here in beautiful Portland, Oregon, and the weather's looking really good. We're at the PSU Farmers Market. We're going to talk to some people about their values. What's up, Cooper? It's good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being here. Make sure that you're sharing. Make sure you're tapping, liking. What's up, you tops? Good to see you. Jake! Oh, you sent gold coin. Oh my gosh, wow. How come I can't see that here?
What?
When people send things. That's weird.
I don't know.
Okay. I can see it on the... We have my other phone up here with anti-animal use account on there so we can see the chat a little better. I can only see that you sent a gold coin on this side. That is wild. Is there anything on here that says... Oops. I wonder if there's a setting in here. Oh, wow. Alex Sanchez sent sparkles. Thank you. Jake sent floating hearts and a gold coin. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Y'all are amazing. I really do appreciate it. If you do send in like a super chat or something, it does work on this account. We can see it pop up. So if you really have something to say and you want us to read it, let us know. And I think it will highlight for us. I've never done this on mobile, so I'm not sure. Yeah, it's so good to see you too, Cooper.
So I just want to, someone said critics
I saw that comment.
argue plant-based agriculture causes, essentially it causes harm. And yeah, I mean, no, we don't deny that it causes harm for sure. I mean, any agricultural system, in a perfect world, we can maybe get that to where we don't harm any animals. But right now, specifically, yeah, any agricultural system is going to cause harm. But what's better? Do you think is better? Maximizing the amount of harm you cause or minimizing it? And
if you spam it, I will block you.
Right, and if you're consuming these products and buying, animal products, that is maximizing suffering to the umpth degree. So you're not only growing crops to feed humans, but you're growing crops to feed animals, as well as destroying land for these farms, right? So I mean, you're deforesting all that land, killing all these animals you're talking about. And if we were to just switch to a plant-based diet, we cut out 2/3 of that. So what do you think is causing more harm?
Make sure that you're tapping, liking, sharing the live. Make sure we get some people in here. We want to get some people to see about veganism. So veganism is this ethical stance against the exploitation of other sentient beings. We don't want to demand someone else be enslaved for us because we don't want to be enslaved for someone else's benefit, especially if it can be avoided. I'm not ignoring you, Travis, but if you say comments that YouTube doesn't like, it does remove them. So veganism is just saying, that others that are sentient care what happens to themselves, and we should respect that because we ourselves are sentient. We want our sentience respected. Just because I don't know how to do something, I don't know how to build something, I don't understand some complex construct, doesn't give someone else the moral right to do what they want to me. Have you, never have unless you feel disagreement are those kind of comments. Okay. Well, I don't know. Do I drive? Yes. Is this going to be an appeal to hypocrisy? Are you going to say because I drive and driving on the road causes harm to other animals that I'm not vegan? Again, veganism is not harm reduction. Veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of other sentient beings. So when I drive a car, I'm not demanding that other animals jump in front of me so that I can get where I'm going. They may step in front of me just like a human would, right? But that doesn't mean that I demand the exploitation of other animals or humans. Ian's here. Exactly. Do you live in society? Like, veganism is about doing the best you can in your situation, right? Every time I have an option presented to me, can I go without? If there's exploitation involved in this, can I go without? Is there an alternative? Shouldn't be trying to hurt the paycheck for someone else if not selling a product that is better. So in order to speak up for someone else's rights, I have to make the product to make it better? That's not my job. I'm about 100% my Xbox has a mind of its own.
Can we see how many people are watching?
Yeah, it's up here. It's in the white right there.
Oh.
Yeah. You can also see it right here.
It blends in, so I'm like, I keep looking, and then I'm like, where is it?
Yeah, it's over here too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
didn't realize though. But
Yeah, I know. I keep having to step up a little. You can kind of see. So make sure you're tapping, sharing. Let's get people in here, okay? I see the hearts coming up. I really appreciate y'all. You're great. We're in Portland, Oregon at the PSU Farmers Market. We're hoping to have some good conversations. I'm standing in the sun for a second. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Oh, that feels good. Oh, it's good. Love that sunshine. Uncomfortable conversations are necessary sometimes to move society towards justice. Exactly, Cooper. Very well put. Yep. Yes, I do BM regularly, and it is great because I hear a lot of people don't. Yes, I was vaccinated against COVID. I do think that it's our responsibility to protect those that are vulnerable in our populations. I do understand that they were tested on other animals. The way that I view this situation is if you can go without if you can go without using medications that were tested on somebody, then you should. But I was working in the public and I needed to be around other people at that time, so I had to do what I had to do. My hoodie says, "Tell me why you're not vegan." And then it says, it's been worn away now, "Talk to vegan stoner lady." And then it had my little icons. And then there was the Dominion cow. And it says, "Watch Dominion on YouTube." And it used to have a QR code. In fact, I think the back is still okay. The front's mostly worn out. I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, some people still can read it. I've had a couple people talk to me, but it's not as productive as I thought it would be. People see the word vegan and they have all these preconceived notions, and so then they're scared away. See, damn. So you gave up on your ideas for profit. That sounds familiar. What? Your ideals for profit? Oh, you mean because I'm accepting donations? Yeah, no, you can do that if you want. I don't need it. So if you are in a tight pinch, which most people I know don't have money to give away, don't give me money. If you do have money, go give it to a sanctuary, I appreciate the donations. It's nice. We do use them for, the only thing I've used it for is actually parking one time. It's just accruing right now. I haven't decided what to do with it because I feel like I need to be transparent about what happens. Driving cars isn't necessarily exploitation. It's not. Exactly. I'm not demanding those jump in front of the car. Yes. End all oppression. Fuck Trump. Portland has F'd the rest of Oregon. How? Yeah, the trolls, you're kind of failing right now. These are mediocre trollings. So we're here in beautiful Portland, Oregon at the PSU Farmers Market. Hoping that you are tapping, sharing, liking this live. We're going to have a conversation with somebody. Hi, we're doing interviews. You want to be interviewed? Okay, no worries. No worries. It happens. Exactly. What do you think justifies exploiting other animals? Go ahead and put it in the comments and I'll try to respond. What about gasoline? Do you think those animals want to be used? Oh, go for it. Yeah. Do you think those animals want to be used as glorified horse feed? Are you saying like the decayed materials that became gasoline were animals and that they were forced to become gasoline? I think you know why that's ridiculous. Do they sell flesh at the markets? They do. In fact, there is a tray of it right across the walkway. I'm looking right at it. Yep, it is everywhere. There's tons. There's all sorts of animal products here, really. They use everything here. I don't hate anybody. I saw someone say, do we hate carnivores because they oppress their prey? I don't hate anybody. I just think that most individuals don't understand what we're doing to others. Most humans have a principle that we shouldn't kick dogs for fun, that we shouldn't make chickens fight each other for money and fun, that we shouldn't exploit each other for pleasure. And I think that they just don't understand how they're contradicting their own values, that by using other animals. We're literally saying it's okay to exploit someone who just has different features or is born from another mother or looks different or just thinks different. Yeah, my beautiful teeth. I'm a unique beauty. Watch Dominion if you're interested in vegan ethics. Watch Dominion if you're not interested in vegan ethics. Watch Dominion just to be informed on what you are demanding someone go through, you know? And ask yourself, is there something that justifies that? Is there something that I need that makes it worth that animal enduring all of that? Yes, exactly, Marissa, that is very true. So for pigs, I don't think most people know this, if they don't remove the testicles from the male pigs, they get what's called boar taint, and the flesh tastes similar to actual feces to people. So when the babies are born, they'll take a razor and they'll cut open their flesh on their rear end area, and then with their hands they just rip out their testicles, just pop them right off without anesthetic, and at the same time they usually clip their teeth as well, and it's very painful for them, and they clip their tails. And it's all because these are things to prevent, they're like welfare things. They're doing it to prevent the animals from cannibalizing each other because they get so stressed being exploited. Why doesn't it show me? Let's see. Oh, Aunt Banks, you sent a flower. Why can't I see that on here? It's so weird. I don't know why it doesn't show me when you guys send donations. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not a pig either. So let's kind of get an idea of who's here. Make sure you're tapping, sharing, and liking. If you're vegan, put a 1 in the chat. If you're not vegan, put a 2 in the chat. I'd like to see what kind of, she's blocking people right now. What do you mean I'm blocking people? Oh, you mean in the chat? I thought you meant like I was physically blocking them. I did do it to that one person that was spamming. I didn't even block them. I just muted them for literally a minute. All right, so we do have a good spread in here. Those that have a 2, can you tell me in a short statement, because I don't want the chat to fly by too much, why you're not vegan? Maybe I can address that. It's called turning a boar into a bar. The pig would still taste good even if we didn't do that, but we do that to make sure that the pig is patio. That doesn't make sense. I don't know what you mean by makes them patio. Vegans can't seem to just do them. They got to impose their moral conundrum. So I'm an animal rights activist. Vegans don't necessarily talk about veganism. They just live that way, right? Vegans don't want to demand someone else's exploitation. They may have conversations with people, but an activist is one that's actually challenging norms and asking people, hey, I think you're not living in alignment with your own principles. Tell me about your principles. Let's talk about why you're not doing this. Yeah, you can have a varied diet as a plant-based person. When I was not plant-based, I ate like 5 animals. You know, not very varied, and like very few vegetables with that. Now I eat a variety of foods. I'd say more diverse than before. I look skinny. Well, okay, thanks. God put animals on this planet to be eaten. Okay, so just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Right? Like, even though I may have the permission to enslave non-vegans, right? Maybe my religion says I can enslave non-vegans. Just because I have that permission, I don't need to do that to somebody. And it'd be wrong for me to do that because the person I'm enslaving doesn't want that done, right? So just because I have some permissions to do something, ask, what does the victim want? What's best for the victim? When I look at all the nature, animals consume other animals is the natural part of life, and we're animals as well. I understand being empathetic, but I don't feel compelled to go against evolution. You're not going against evolution, you're just not exploiting others when you go vegan. You'll still thrive and you'll still be the same individual you are. You're not going to change your body. I mean, unless you decide to eat healthier, but that's on you if we want to do that. We're just saying you do your whatever you're going to do without using sentient beings. Nature never had a concern for the victims. Okay, do you think that's how humans should interact with each other? Because there's no morality in nature, we shouldn't treat each other morally? How are you exploiting if you're a hunter or a fisher? You're using their body without their consent. You're using them for your best interest, not theirs. You're using them unfairly. You're going into their home, pew-pewing them and dragging them out to your home. I like meatballs with we can do vegan meatballs. There's Beyond Flesh, Impossible Flesh. You can make meatballs out of beans, seitan, which is just the protein from wheat. Making stuff up on the fly. Yeah, I see you are. You still using the animals against their will without necessity when you hunt. Yes, exactly. Hey, we're doing interviews. You want to be interviewed?
What's the question?
We're just talking about oppression. But we're live on YouTube. Do you want to be on camera? Be like 5 minutes?
I'd make an ass. I have a tendency to make an ass out of myself.
I mean, you won't make an ass out of yourself. Yeah.
I just did already. So.
Are you willing
Maybe
to
not.
finish?
Sure, yeah.
All right.
All right.
I'll just have you. They can't see you yet, so I'll have you just stand up right there. All right. I promise we'll keep it as cordial as possible.
Okay.
My name's Anna. What's yours?
Jake.
Jake. Lovely to meet you, Jake. What brings you out here?
The farmer's market.
Yeah, it's nice to be out here, just walking around. A lot of good things that you can buy. What do you think about the dynamic between the powerful and the powerless? Do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress, which means prolonged, cruel, like unfair treatment? Think the powerful should have the right to do that to the powerless? Powerful being like, they could be really strong or smart.
I think if the powerful got to that position by means of virtue and, by virtue's means,
let me give you an example.
and if the powerless got there by their own means and their own decisions, whether it be substance abuse.
Let me give you an example. What about a parent to a child, right? You could say that that's a powerful person and a parent,
Yeah.
and the powerless being the child. Do you think that because that parent is powerful, they should be unfair and cruel to that child?
I'll stop right there and say the kids are not powerless.
They're vulnerable.
Well, they are vulnerable.
Do you think that someone who's powerful...
They have a lot of influence over and this is generally across the board.
Should a parent abuse a child?
Should a parent abuse a child? I mean, do you think a parent should discipline a child for misbehaving?
That's not what I asked you.
All right, I'm out of here.
All right. You're just not answering any questions.
It feels like I'm being interrogated.
I'm asking about your principles. That's it. I'm just trying to understand how you make decisions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to have a two-way street conversation, I'd be willing to, but...
All right. Yeah, he did, I guess. Hey, we're doing social experiment. You want to participate?
I'm on a hunt to find something before this closes.
It's fair enough. Yes, you have a good day. Yeah, he had zero argument against it, so. Hey! The market's starting to wind down a little bit. Hi, we're doing interviews. You want to be interviewed? Hey, we're doing interviews. You want to be interviewed? All right. I love that bouquet. It's gorgeous. Yeah. They have really pretty flowers around here. How's everyone doing? Hey, we're doing interviews. You want to be interviewed? All right. We're live on YouTube. Anybody want to share their thoughts? How do I feel about the vegan teacher? I think that she's an activist that's speaking up for the vulnerable, and we need more people to be active for the vulnerable. Hi, we're doing interviews. You want to be interviewed? All right.
Have you ever heard?
Let's see. What about the cotton you're wearing right now in the fake earrings? This isn't cotton. This is a button. And animals are used to get those things. What? What about the cotton that you're wearing right now? In the fake earrings that you're wearing right now, animals were used to get those things. So we can grow cotton and process cotton without using animals. And my earrings are buttons that have been put into resin. So, like coat buttons, they're just plastic. Exactly. Like, even if I was a hypocrite, what justifies your use of other animals? We are here in beautiful Portland, Oregon at the PSU Farmers Market, and we're going to ask some people about their values and see if they're actually living in alignment. Hey, do you want to be interviewed? All right, no worries. Yeah, I don't wear fur. I find it cruel because I wouldn't want someone to scalp my hair off of me just so that they could wear it. Caprese, you're in Oregon. That's awesome. You'll have to remind me, are you vegan? I don't know if I've specifically spoken to you. Let's see. Anybody have any questions about veganism? Veganism is the ethical stance against the exploitation of other sentient beings. We just don't want to demand someone's exploitation or slavery for us. So what do you think about that? I'm not a fan of vegan gains. What kind of jeans are you wearing? They're secondhand. I don't know what brand they are. I got them at a thrift store that they just fit. I usually wear Packed is the brand that I usually wear, and they're like stretchy leggings. And I decided I would try some jeans, so I went to a thrift store. Thank you. You listen to Drop Dead or Conflict? No. I don't know. My partner usually has music playing on, so I don't actually pick out the songs usually. I just don't think about it. I find beauty in almost every song. Exactly. Veganism is this ethical stance. So, again, maybe I should reiterate, if you're not vegan, maybe tell me why you're not vegan or ask a question. Maybe I can address that in the chat. Make sure you're tapping, sharing, liking. Maybe share this to somebody that has a question about veganism so that I can address it. Because my goal is to just talk to as many people as possible. Yeah, so when it comes to abortion, it's about the person who's pregnant and their doctor, right? It's a conversation for them, not you. You can't tell others what to do with their body. That's not right. Apart from anyone I know here, including VSL, you're all possessed. And I'm sick of weak approach to defend the animals. Possessed? By who? She went to the comment about a song. Well, ask your question again. I didn't see it. You mean about crop deaths? Because most of the animals eat the crops that we grow. So if you're worried about crop deaths, you would still eat the plants directly because we eat fewer plants. We can also improve how we grow crops. We can grow vertically or whatever without having any casualties, right? But you cannot remove the exploitation from using animals. Let's see, but the mom can tell the baby to die, though. If there's a mother holding a baby, no, that's not true. Define ethical stance. I just mean that you principally don't want to use others because you don't want to be used. It comes from your brain and talking to other people. I'm cooked. On what? Have you heard of Anonymous for the Voiceless, DXE, or Animal Liberation Front? I am part of these groups. Yes, actually, we have Minx here, who is part of the Portland DXE group. I've gone to a couple of their foie gras protests here, and they've been really successful. So it's really good to see them active. I was the one that was hosting the AV cubes around here, but no one was coming to the events because it wasn't advertised by other groups. So when I started to do the anti-animal use group, we actually started to get advertised, and people started to find us. So that's how our group has grown. It's the only reason why we don't have AV here.
No, she lives in Tennessee.
Yes, we're in Portland, Oregon at the PSU Farmers Market, and we're just hoping to catch another conversation. Hey, do you guys want to be interviewed? We're live on YouTube. All right. Yeah, it doesn't matter if that's me. I'm the only one. Yeah. Yeah. So they're talking about my channel being vegan stoner lady. I saw a question. I was going to answer it. The only difference is your perception. I've been vegan for 10 years. I've ran AVSF. That's how our group has grown too. That's awesome, Bunny. That's good to see. How does not eating something make you privileged? Exactly, right? Like, me not demanding someone's flesh is not privilege. That's just me being able to make a choice. I guess that having that option is what you're saying is the privilege, but the thing is that most people have that option. The privilege is having the access to the animal products, because those take so much more resource and time and effort to have. We could just eat the plants directly, but instead we have to grow plants, feed the animals, and that's everyday thing, right? You don't need to garden. You can just go to the grocery store and buy all the plants you need. Awesome. Yes, I've been watching it. We've got another, I want to have at least one more conversation on here, but I don't know if we're going to get it. We'll try. I know. I was tempted to give you the microphone, but I didn't know if it would. I didn't know where you were, and I didn't know if that would help or hurt.
It's all right. It was a good conversation. So
okay, that's good. See, when they have vegan family, that's like a perfect opportunity to be like, have you ever talked to them about it? Why are they vegan? Maybe ask them questions.
Yeah, we were
watch this film.
We don't know 100% if she's maybe more plant-based or actually vegan, but still,
I'd be like, they might be interested in watching that film, right? I'd be like, have them watch this film with you. Maybe they can talk to you while you watch it. Yeah, nice. I'm all giving suggestions. This team already knows. Hey, we're doing interviews. You want to be interviewed? All right.
See if we can maybe get one more before we wrap up.
Yeah, I'd like to get at least one more on camera if we can. If not, that's okay. But it's been such a good day. I feel like we've actually had some good conversations. Make sure you're tapping, sharing, liking. Let's get as many people in here as possible, guys. What do I have to do to get some attention here? Yes, other animals eat animals, but they're doing something to survive a harsh environment. Hi, we're doing interviews. You want to be interviewed? All right. Hi, it's so good to see you. Do you want to talk about your company at all?
Probably not right now.
Okay. No, that's totally understandable. Yes. Oh, absolutely. In fact, I'll let you know ahead of time so you can prepare yourself. Yes, we would love to show off Lucinda makes those burgers. They're so good. Yes, they're so good. Oh, I've gotten them a couple of times. Yes. Yeah, they're so good. You just mix them with a little bit of oil and seasonings, put them in the fridge for a couple hours, and they're juicy. Oh, and they have so much flavors. She has chipotle and I can't even remember all of them. Just plain garden burger. What was the other one I had? I can't remember. So many different flavors, and you can turn them into tacos. They're like a bag of crumbles, basically. You just soak them a little bit. Okay, hello, Ducky. Yes, hello, hi. We haven't dated that 1 or 3 vegans who need trust funds to food shop. I don't understand that statement. We haven't dated that 1 or 3 vegans who needed trust funds to food shop. Yeah, I don't know if you do mean food stamps, because vegan or not, there are different people that need.
I want to answer this one question that said, the beauty of being human is the freedom of choice. Vegans want to strip your freedom to choose what to eat. I think it's very ironic for you to talk about freedom when you don't consider the animals' freedom or their choice at all. You're literally stripping them of everything and taking their life from them.
Yeah.
The most valuable thing you're taking from them and not giving them any choice. So that's pretty ironic to say. And
it is.
Vegans aren't, again, forcing anybody to do anything. We're not going up to people, tying them up and forcing them to drink soy milk. We're just, literally talking to people. They have free will to come up and talk to us if they want. They can walk away at any time. So,
And they have.
Right.
I literally had someone be like, "Yeah, I'm done," and just walked away. I'm like, "Okay." Yes, he did say he felt like he's being interrogated. And I was like, "Well, I'm just asking you questions. So I guess if someone's asking you a series of questions, that might sound like interrogation." but it's literally just questions. So. Okay, yeah. Do you want to say goodbye? It's up to you. I don't want to force you on camera. And you don't have to say either.
I'll wait till you're done.
Okay.
I mean, we got 10
You
minutes.
can come in here a little more so you can
Okay.
see you.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for joining. Once again, my name is Minx, and it's militant_Minx on Instagram and TikTok.
Yes.
Bye.
And if you're in the area, get a massage from Minx.
Yes. MinxVeganMassage.com.
Yes. All right, Minx. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Oh my gosh, so many conversations too, by the way. Like, oh, I'm so excited. Awesome. Yes, absolutely.
Ask a collaboration on Instagram.
Oh yeah. Well, and yeah, and I'll also I'm gonna cut up the video, and I'll try to. I was trying to do this with Nick earlier too, to like be able to give you access to those videos so you can post and do what you want to them, edit them or whatever, because those are your conversations. So, yes, thank you so much. You have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here. That was so sweet. Dubs in the chat for Minx. Minx is amazing. Let's see. Hunting regulates the deer population. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so before I answer that real quick, let's see what kind of spread we got going right now. Make sure you're tapping, sharing. If you're vegan, put a 1. If you're not vegan, put a 2. All right. And when it comes to hunting, you're going out into someone's home, right? And you're going to go pew-pew them.
How long?
Like 5 minutes?
I can give you 5 minutes. Go for it.
Come on over here to this square right here.
Yeah, we are live on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Are you okay to be live on YouTube?
I am fine.
Beautiful. Okay. So my name's Anna. What's yours?
Kevin, Anna.
Kevin. Lovely to meet you, Kevin.
Pleasure.
What brings you out here?
Just exploring the PSU market, actually for the first time.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It is. It's
Yeah.
wonderful,
Yeah.
extensive. My little area market's quite smaller. So
Oh, wow. Yeah,
this
so
is
this
great.
would be, oh, yeah, there's a lot
It's
of stuff to
awesome.
go look at. Did you get like all the way around?
I did. I did a
Nice,
full
good.
out.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I'll get to it. What do you think about the powerful versus the powerless? Do you think the powerful should have the right to basically mistreat, what oppression means, mistreat the powerless?
Absolutely not.
I agree. What do you think about when we consider the animals that we use for food, clothing, entertainment, or exercise, or excuse me, entertainment like the circus or the zoo?
I am not a fan of the zoo, unfortunately.
Yeah, same here.
And when it comes to our food supply, I definitely would lean toward ethical treatment,
Mm-hmm.
but it is part of our overall culture. And I know that's difficult in terms of the balance between, feeding everybody and, how we treat these. So my partner and I both lean a little bit more toward trying to do a plant-based, but we do work in some meat, but we try and be thoughtful about that.
I got you. So when you do that effort, is it because you do care about their experiences?
Well, ultimately, yes. I mean, again, aspects of the decision of how's the animal been raised, treated, also supporting that smaller, farmer and sustainable practices. That is our preference.
If you found out that we could have all of that without using other animals, would you agree that we should opt for that?
Well, I would agree that we should be exploring those options at all times.
If we had evidence that we could feed more than our current population, we could green our planet more, and we could get all our nutrients, would you agree that we should make that change?
I would believe that we really, on a personal standpoint, ought to be considering that more. I realize, like insects being in the future, being a huge part of our protein.
Well, we don't even need that. We literally have everything we need right now.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But personal choice, and there is a cultural aspect to it. So I would not be into banning such things. I just think education, getting people more involved, getting people to think about where where this is coming from, and trying to be more thoughtful of that.
So when we think about their experiences, and you say that there's like, what was the word you used? Did you use humane or like nicer farms, or what was it you called?
Well, humane treatment
Okay.
which humane? What does that mean,
Well, so I was
right?
going to ask you, it's okay if you think of only just a specific animal, but can you think of how do we humanely farm someone?
Well, it's not a black and white answer. It is shades of gray. You folks are probably familiar with the They recently, I can't think of her name, professor at Colorado State University. She is actually one of the earliest individuals. She was on the spectrum. They didn't know what to make of her at a very early time, but she came through and she's been a consultant on how, and I know this is,
Temple Grandin.
yes,
Temple
yes.
Grandin.
They did a portrait of her that was highlighted on the show. And I mean, I realize, to some people that's still not humane, but she did all she could do to make those animals experience, unfortunately, as they're going to the slaughterhouse, less stressful.
Yeah.
And
because their experiences matter.
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so when we think about their experiences, if we don't need to use them, what justifies putting them, even in the minute amount, in that position?
Aspect.
Yeah.
Well, again, I'm just going to say we have to look back at our evolution, how we've come to this as we move forward. To the extent that we can, but I just don't think I will ever see a world where we do not go ahead and use, hoof mammals as part of our food source. And I apologize. Now I don't want to, sugarcoat this.
I'm more like trying to understand, because it sounds like you agree that if we could get everything we wanted without using animals, that we should do that, right?
No, you wouldn't have me agree with you on that statement.
So you do agree, or so you're saying that even though we don't need to use animals, we should keep using them?
I am not sure I agree that we don't need to use animals.
So what is it we need from them?
Well, they are still a part of our diet in terms of our animal protein.
But we can replace that.
I'm not sure I agree with that statement.
If I gave you resources that showed you the evidence, would you change your mind?
I'm always open, but right now, in the 5 minutes that I can give you, because I have to get back to my, work, there's research on both ends that would show you. So
what I would say is ask yourself, if you were the victim, what would you want your oppressor to do?
I appreciate where you're coming from, and I'm not sure that using oppressor is quite the way I would approach
oppressor is someone
describing
that uses
a farmer that has been out there, a rancher, and that is doing the best job. Although, again,
ask
I
yourself,
want to
what is the morally relevant difference between those animals and humans that makes it not okay to switch them with humans?
If we had, space invasion and all
do you
of a
think
sudden
human
we
slavery
were
is
in
good?
that, it would be pretty awful, right?
Yeah, human slavery
But I'm
is
afraid
terrible.
I'm not taking that jump or that reach to comparing that with to you.
As an oppressor, you're going to see your victims as lesser.
To you. It's not a black and white issue.
What do you think
I
the animals
appreciate
want?
your perspective.
What do you think the animals want?
I don't think animals completely know. But
that's because that's to your benefit.
Hey, look,
I'll let you go, but just
thank you
know
very
that
much.
you are the oppressor to
guys.
them. You are the oppressor.
I respect you.
Look up the word oppression.
To have an opinion.
Go look up
But
the word
I
oppression.
can't completely come over
I know
to
you
it.
need to be educated. Watch that card, okay? All right, we're gonna wrap it up there, I guess. Unless you want to say something else.
No.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna call it there for Vegan Center Lady. I really appreciate y'all being here. I really appreciate all the vegans that were active there. We got 72 people in here. I saw it at one point over 100, so I really appreciate your efforts. Mods and vegans in here tapping, liking, people that are curious, that are supporting. Thank you for doing that. I want to also thank the non-vegans for challenging yourself to come in here and hear a thought that maybe you just don't agree with, but I really encourage you to go check out antiamuse.org. Go click on See What I Fund. Watch that 3-minute film. Ask yourself if you really want to keep demanding that. I think we had a good day today here at the farmers market, and we had a lot of good conversations, even though we're kind of ending on a flat note. But do you want to say anything? Add anything?
No, I mean, just, go vegan. Consider your choices. I mean, do research and, and I'm sure the majority of you people in here, for example, if you wouldn't do it to, maybe if you have a companion animal at home, then, what justifies doing it to all these other animals?
Exactly.
Besides just the labels we put on them. What is the morally relevant difference between these animals or even just us? I made this post the other day. It didn't do very well, sadly, but I had a quote on there that said, I guess not a quote, but it said, let me pull it up. I just want to see, because I'm like, this is a good
phrase. I like it when I find those perfect phrases to say. While you're doing that,
It says, "We're the same in every way that matters," and it's a picture of an animal's eye and then a human's eye. So,
yes,
in every way that matters, we're the same, right? So,
wow. Okay, so we got a $5 donation. You need to put soft men under your boot, not listen to them. Yeah, I can follow that advice. Yeah, put maybe not so much about gender, but yes, put people that are harming others and exploiting others under my boot and not be as kind to them. I do feel that. I'm trying to be kind in that I want to get to them. Right now, this hard exterior is there, and it's hard to crack through to understand their true principles because they're afraid of them. But thank you so much for that comment, Derek. That was Derek Choice 770. I'm sorry, broke your name up. Thank you for that $5 donation. That was huge. Thank you so much. And Satanic Steven, thank you for the gold coin. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Let me go back to all messages. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Plants don't have feelings. They don't have a brain or central nervous system. I'll just throw that out there real quick. And even if they were sentient, we feed most plants to the animals you use. So you should still live vegan. Anyway.
yeah, are we wrapping up?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm grass-fed human on TikTok and Instagram. Grass-fed_human. Just go ahead and give that or my my pages a follow. Yeah.
Definitely follow Grassfed on Instagram, TikTok, I think even YouTube, right?
Yeah,
I know you haven't posted.
I have a YouTube. I keep saying I'm gonna.
Oh,
sorry,
no, you're
I
good.
keep saying I'm gonna do it. I always forget.
That's okay.
I'm like,
Instagram and TikTok for now.
Footage to like. I usually just because like I make my stuff in edits typically, and then for Instagram, and then I'm like, I post on Instagram, then I repost it on TikTok, and then I can just do it to YouTube. So I should start doing that.
That's up to you. Whatever you do. It does take time to do that with each one too, so it's understandable.
It's good to get reach out at, like every platform because
You get
different
different
people
audience.
may different people may see it. So and it's important to spread the reach as far as you can, right? Because you want as many people to see the message. So I should start doing that. So
I mean, no pressure. But if you can, go follow. I'm Vegan Stoner Lady. You can follow me on all the platforms, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I'll be live on Monday on TikTok, 9 a.m. PST time. Anti-animal use will be live either Friday or Saturday. I don't have a time for that yet. So go follow Vegan Stoner Lady, Anti-Animal Use, the Grass-Fed Human, and oh my gosh, I forgot Minx's full account name. I want to say it was Vegan Minx. Well, wait a second while Nick pulls that up. Thank you. It actually was a great stream.
Militant Minx.
Militant Minx. That's right. How could I forget that? Militant Minx.
So go ahead and give them a follow.
Yes, give them a follow. Militant Minx is amazing. This was their first time actually having a couple conversations on camera, and they did really well. So dubs in the chat for Militant Minx, dubs in the chat for Grass-Fed Human. Thank you all. Thank you for everything. You are amazing. 1,000 subs. We made it. Yes!
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
This is on Vegan Stoner.
This is on Vegan Stoner Lady. Oh, we already have 1,000 on anti-animal use. We're awesome on that channel. Thank you so much for everyone who subscribed. And with that, we're gonna call it a day. We're signing out from Portland, Oregon, PSU Farmers Market, and we'll catch you next time. And Vegan Stoner Lady will be live next Saturday as well, but Monday is the next one, so I'll see you on Monday.